Hello, and welcome to the All Things Narrative Podcast, where we explore the relationships between the stories we love and the stories we live. I'm your host, Derrick, and let's get started.
Let's go.
This is it, the final episode of 2022.
Whoop, whoop.
This is it, and I can't think of a better way to spend it than to have you guys all here with me tonight.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving, we're recording this. This is going to come out right before Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
So wherever you're at, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever's going on. I'm just so thankful that you're here celebrating. Maybe you're on vacation right now or just taking a break from everything. And we're
Thank you for listening to our sweet, sweet voices while you're on vacation.
I feel so bad that Joe's one of the voices you have to hear.
This is All Things Narrative Podcast.
You got a good radio voice.
Oh,
though,
thank
Joe.
you.
I gotta say, you got nice deep tones there.
Should I do my interview right now?
So you guys have probably recognized their voices. We've got Joseph and Jason here. But we have another Jay joining us as well.
Hey.
We've got Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob. Nice to meet y'all.
To the Triple J's here.
J threat.
So this will be fun because Joe and Jason have been joining us for these various Why We Love episodes. So we've got Jacob here who hasn't been in any of them or even heard any of them. So it's cool because as we kind of reflect back on the year, feel free to chime in and give your thoughts as well on if you have any strong opinions on this. So, but yeah, this is gonna be fun, guys. I'm excited that we're all here. We all got our bourbon, right?
Mm-hmm,
So,
yep.
we are.
Oh, yeah, no.
We are good
Sorry,
to
Jacob.
go.
3 out of the 4.
We need a variable in there.
Yeah.
A variable, right?
I'm the offset, I guess. I'm the control group, really.
There you go. All right, so what we're going to kind of do is just kind of keep this low-key, casual, informal, not as organized as what we're used to. We don't have a specific film series that we're looking at, but maybe, we could start just by kind of reflecting on this year, right? On some of the episodes that we have recorded. So the first time that we got together, we did Why We Love the Batman, right? That was right as the new Batman movie was coming out. And
That was this year, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
and that is actually still to this day our most popular Why We Love episode.
Oh,
that we've
really?
done. Yes. That is the third. I think
Batman.
I think it's the third highest charted episode in the whole podcast, and it's easily the highest of the Why We Loves. So people really like that one,
Yeah,
and
people like
it was a strong start. So any thoughts? Has anything changed at all? Like your views on anything there? Anything that you felt like you didn't get to say in that episode? Or
With the Batman.
Yeah, with the
Batman.
like, did you guys go and rewatch the new Batman movie since we recorded that?
I actually did watch it with Dave Darling. and
Okay,
his
yeah.
family, and he really, really loved it. He wanted to.
I know he said it was the movie, the Batman movie he's been waiting for. How was it for you? Like, did it hold up well the next time you saw it?
It did. I think that was the third time that I had seen it. I believe it was either the third or the second. I've seen it a lot of times, but really just getting a better handle on the story and understanding of the politics that were taking place. And it was pretty scary. I think I may have said this already, but just how real this could be. And
Yeah.
the scariest part was all the support for the Riddler in the movie. And I'm thinking, this is exactly how it'd go. Some people would die and everyone would be like, yeah, good. Ah!
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should be. And that's really scary.
Yeah.
But I really have appreciated all the memes that came out of it.
There's a whole bunch of video stuff
yeah.
now where like people are like, if you were to throw like garbage out in Gotham and then just Batman like coming down a slide, stop right there. Yeah. Like, come here, let me get you. It's funny. I love the new Batman stuff. But I would say I haven't rewatched it. But in hindsight, seeing the movies that have come after it, I'm like the Batman is easily one of the top movies
of this year.
Yes,
Oh, definitely.
of this year. Just
easily.
Like quality wise, story wise, all of it
Casting.
all of it is so much better than the stuff that has been put out this year.
I agree. It holds up really well this year. I watched it another time as well since we recorded. I did feel the drag a little more the second time.
Okay.
When we got to like when the Riddler gets arrested, and then we still have like another
Hour.
Yeah, I did feel that the second time. I'm kind of
There's
like
another 40 minutes?
at least, because
Really?
remember that's when they have all the bombs go off and the
Batman
flood
saves
and-
people. Yeah.
Oh, but I like that.
I like it too, but
When
you
they're
do
all-
feel
You just feel it.
You feel it a little more the second when you're at home, just kind of chilling. You're just kind of like, wow, this movie is really long.
Not to be the
But-
dud, but I have not seen this movie yet.
Oh, you haven't seen the Batman?
yeah, no, it's definitely worth
I
watching.
spend the next 3 minutes telling you why.
I'm highly interested in doing so. By all means.
Have you seen any
Yes.
other Batman movies?
Yeah, like all of them except
Do
for that one.
you have like a favorite?
I want to say I can't remember the Dark Knight. I think
The Dark Knight, yeah.
Yep.
because he just all that
Universally.
ninjutsu stuff and all that. That was just cool. Like,
I think I've been
I was just a big kung fu movie type of guy, so like
Yeah.
all that stuff was like cool to me.
So you like Kill Bill?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, wait, we'll get there. We'll
Oh,
get
okay,
there.
you're right.
We'll
You're
get there. We'll get
Not even
there.
mentioned.
We'll get there.
Well,
Tarantino.
the Batman, the recent one, it's more of a detective style movie. It really
Yes,
dives into
yes.
the detective nature of Batman. He's solving clues that are left behind from the Riddler. I don't want to spoil too much else, but the picture, the scenes are beautiful.
Yeah, cinematography.
It's just well
It
shot.
explores more the human nature of the Batman and Bruce Wayne himself and the trauma that he's gone through and what diving into vengeance looks like and how it affects a community and how an image is, I guess, taken on by others that admire it. And it's never always the effect that you intend to have.
Yeah.
So,
And
Good.
Yeah.
yeah,
it is.
no, it's
Really
definitely
good.
good.
It's interesting.
Description, by the way.
it's a very human movie. Yes.
It's interesting because even though a lot of the movies weren't good this year, I can see a common theme for most of most of the movies that have come out this year. Like thinking of DC, Marvel, and those type of stuff.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
grief. Like thinking
Yeah.
of dealing with
Yeah,
grief.
I can see that.
Batman. What's it called? Thor: Love and Thunder. How he dealt with grief, even though it was a
Right.
terrible movie, it still had that aspect in it. The new Black Panther movie deals with grief. Yeah, it's really good. I feel, well,
we'll talk about Marvel.
Yeah, okay,
We'll get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
We'll get
Listen,
there.
I'm hopping around everywhere. All right, this
All
is
good.
You
We're off
said
the script.
informal.
Yeah. No, that's true. I'm
Dangerous
already trying to
word.
Right.
systematize this episode.
I think we need you to.
Something sad though I got to bring up to you guys is did you guys all hear that Kevin Conroy
Yep.
died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that played
Sucks.
Batman.
One of the
He is
pillars.
like for me he's
one of the
always
early
been
guys.
he's
Yeah.
always been the Batman.
He's
you
voiced
know?
Batman for how many years?
Yeah.
60 years?
He's been voiced Batman as long as I've been alive.
Because
you know?
he did the games as well.
So he did
like
all the
voice of
Arkham games. He did the animated series.
Yep.
He did several films.
That's so wild.
Alfred.
I grew up
Yeah.
on the animated series.
Yeah, so
That's
he
one of my
it's him.
favorites.
It's that Batman.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Fair.
He is my Batman.
yeah, it hits you too. Yeah.
Yeah, it hits
It's a moment
hard.
of silence for that guy.
Yeah. Hang on.
right?
A moment of
It would
silence.
Moment of
be
silence
like
for Kevin
if-
Conroy.
If it'd be like if
It's
Mark
always
Hamill
Jason
died-
interrupting a moment of silence, bro.
Oh, you said moment of silence.
Yeah.
For Kevin Conroy.
Gosh,
For
moment of silence.
The legend.
We can do it now.
Oh my gosh.
It's done. It's done.
It's over. You ruined it.
There was a very small moment. It happened.
And we didn't get to talk a lot in the Batman episode about a lot of the direct to video adaptations. I remember when we watched The Long Halloween, when
Yeah.
you came over and watched that, right?
Yeah.
That was that and The Dark Knight Returns
Yes.
are my top ones. But I actually think now that I've thought about it, I actually think I might like The Long Halloween a smidge more.
Okay.
Just because I think I like the story more.
Yeah. I would still say that The Dark Knight Returns is probably still one of my favorite.
Yeah. Which Jason, I still don't think you've seen that one, right?
That's the one where he fights Superman and he's
Yeah.
old man Batman.
Yeah, we do need to watch that
Ben
with
Affleck in
you.
that one, right?
No, that is
That's Batman v
Li-
Superman, but it's based a lot off Dark Knight Returns, off that story.
Batman v Superman is based off of some of it is based off the Dark Knight Returns
So
comic and animated movie.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a worse
the animated-
version of
okay.
Batman vs
See, I didn't see
Superman.
that.
Oh no, sorry. Batman vs Superman is like a worse version of The Dark Knight Returns.
It's like a lesser,
Yeah.
a step
Poor
down.
man's version of it.
Yeah.
Walmart discount.
Oh, I don't know if I go that far.
Savings rack Batman.
Right? I'm not gonna lie, I do love me some
Ross.
Batman v Superman. I plan on watching that movie.
We
during
need
the
to
break.
get Nick Nick to watch it
I
with us.
love that
So he
movie.
he can hear our commentary, and just like he put me through The Last Jedi, we can transition to that actually.
Wait
So
a minute, you didn't like that?
Oh, let's go into it. Transition. Perfect transition.
really is standing
Nick
up for
is
Nick
here.
now.
Yeah,
Nick is here in spirit.
Nick is here in
for
spirit.
Jacob.
Let's transition over
Why
to
we love Star Wars.
Yeah,
right?
why
So
we
that's
love
the next
it.
one that we did. That's when Nick started coming on and doing episodes with us. That I think is one of the best episodes we've ever done of the podcast
I
in
would
general. Just because I think the conversation about Last Jedi alone was, oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm like a super fan, but by all means, like that. Man, like, all right. So, like,
Yeah, let's get into it. I love it. Yes.
Get up to the mic. Get up to the mic.
I'm trying to remember a lot because it's been a minute since I've seen it. But like,
There we go.
I just love the visuals and stuff, like the classic cutscene kind of stuff that you get from like every Star Wars film, all that kind of stuff. I like the camera work, all that kind of stuff. Like everything about it seems genuine. It's genuine to the original artifact. Like it's cool how they managed to put it together. It's a higher definition. Maybe some people complain about the characters or whatever. Fine, whatever. It's. I mean, like, dude, it's
Whatever.
Whatever. Now there's a statement right there. Whatever.
I told you I'm not a super fan. I'm just, I dig it for what it is. It's not like I'm not like into the world of it or whatever, but more of just like this is a good piece of film. Like it's just a good film. And they did it repeatedly. I don't think all right, Jar Jar Binks, that guy could have, not been in there. Everybody else, though.
Jar Jar Binks was the Sith Lord, though. He was the main Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'll be honest.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
I remember him being like a.
That was a fan
dodo.
theory for people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish it happened.
That'd be the best twist.
That would have been
ever in
better
Star
than what
Wars.
we got with Rise of Skywalker.
Right?
I have an
Palpatine
embarrassing
return.
thing to admit. I watched a little bit of the first episode,
Phantom
Menace?
Yeah.
and Jar Jar Binks did something, and I
You laugh?
can't believe it.
Oh, you gotta leave.
I'm turning into a boomer.
It's good hanging out with Dave.
Oh
Binks,
man.
I can hear him say, that Jar Jar guy, I kind of like him.
I
He's
kinda like
kinda
that
funny."
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, I could see him saying that. So I was forced to rewatch Last Jedi with these guys. Forced. Then the Force was not awakened as I was watching it. Yeah, and I will say, like Nick as we were watching the movie, I'm just kind of like, yeah, all my problems still stand. In the middle of the movie, Nick seemed to notice this, and he pulled out an article that he made me read as we were watching it about
Nick
how
with his
there's
articles.
this whole meta like commentary thing going on within Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but if it is, then I will move the movie half a star up.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I think I remember you saying that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can acknowledge that this is better put together than the Phantom Menace. I still
not a high
don't.
margin.
I still don't like it. But like I told Nick, like I'll put it a half a ding higher, and that's the highest I think I can make it go. Because and Nick still can't stand that I have Attack of the Clones higher. But I don't care.
Honestly, if all the cancel bite stuff wasn't in it, and if
It's painful.
Yeah, and if Finn actually
Painful.
died, I think I would absolutely love the movie.
I wish Finn was a cooler character.
He should
I
have
wish
been a
Finn
cool-
was a
That was
character.
he's the most wasted character in that
Wasted.
entire trilogy.
Yeah.
And he was so cool. This is
He's an ex-stormtrooper.
yeah, a black ex-stormtrooper.
You had it all
wielded
right
a
there.
lightsaber.
Yes.
He actually fought against Kylo
He
Ren.
fought against Kylo Ren and lived, bro. That is so dope. And then what's it called? And then apparently he may be force sensitive, but they shoehorned that in the Rise of Skywalker, just like they shoehorn in Palpatine.
So yeah.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow another movie was made.
Do you have a favorite Star Wars movie?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't even remember the titles. So I'd have to Google it. Give me a
Say
second.
what happens.
Give me
All
a
right,
second.
go
Let me
for it.
just start.
Google it. While he's doing that, we didn't really get to talk about any of the shows.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we need to take a few minutes for this
and talk
one.
about Obi-Wan, because that's pretty much the show we're talking
Did
about.
we ever
Oh my
talk about
gosh.
The Mandalorian?
No.
No, we
Such a
didn't.
good-
So
Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and Andor. Honestly, I love Andor, but we can wait.
I
We
haven't
can wait to
seen
talk about
Andor,
this.
but I hear good things. I hear good
love
things about
Andor,
it.
but we can get to that one after. But
do we want to get Obi-Wan out of the way first?
No, we get Mandalorian out of the way.
yeah, 'cause that came
Mandalorian's great.
first. Boba Fett sucked. We could just all.
Boba Fett sucks.
I've never
Mandalorian
seen it,
is
but
You don't-
the little bit I've seen, I don't need to watch it. Everything I wanted
in.
in Boba Fett, I already got.
Yeah, I got-
Mandalorian, yeah.
Well, and
Boba
here's the
Fett
interesting
showing up
thing.
in the Mandalorian, that's fine.
That's
don't
how I
need any
feel.
more of him.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Mandalorian as a whole. Like, I don't need a third season. I
Yeah.
feel very complete with the story it told.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
So-
not. They're gonna give another season.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
making
it's
a-
coming out next
Of
year.
what?
Well,
Right?
I mean, Baby Yoda's back. So in the Book of Mandalorian, they had not the Book of Mandalorian because it pretty much
The Book
turned
of Boba Fett.
It turned into a Book of Mandalorian. In the Book of Boba Fett, like there was literally 2 episodes dedicated to only met the Mandalorian getting
How they
Baby
got
Yoda
people
back.
watching.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So Grogu is back with.
yes.
That kind of spoiled it for me.
I know. I'm sorry about that, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to show that in the show, which is so weird.
Yeah.
That they would take something that is a plot point from a different show and put it into another show and be like, you have to watch this to
Yeah.
understand what's going to happen for the next season.
Have you not been awake for the whole? Go ahead.
It's called transmedia. It's like really the new thing right now, where basically you have to have one piece of media in order to fully understand.
Marvel
another piece.
did that.
It was
Marvel ruined. I'm not gonna lie.
Disney.
No, it was before Disney because Marvel was doing this before Disney bought them.
Yes,
Marvel
but-
has kind of
but
ruined.
I will say Disney is making sure that this
that formula
that-
stays.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Marvel did it, but it wasn't to such. Marvel did it, but it wasn't to such a huge degree. But you need to see 4 different shows
To understand.
and 2 movies.
That's how
to
Marvel is
understand
now,
what-
though.
Yeah, that
that's
is.
how it
No,
is
that's
now.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
now. Before it was there's like it's in a series.
Yeah.
So you see the next one, you see the other one, but it goes to the next one. It's not all this stuff at one time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not this overload of media.
I remember when they were saying in the beginning of Phase 4, they were saying like, hey, with these shows, you're not going to need to watch the shows to understand the movies, but that completely
That's
changed.
not true.
You have to.
Not
like with
true.
WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2. You have to watch WandaVision to understand
Right.
the significance of why she's
Yeah.
she's literally ready to kill a child to get her children back.
Right.
Which is, again, I get
Well,
it, but
and
like
I think the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian stand fine on their own, and I don't need anything else with it.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian is not like the greatest. Like, I wasn't one of the people saying like this is the greatest thing ever to come out of Star Wars. But I love, the Mandalorian character is good. Grogu's
so
good.
fresh.
It's shot nice. It's
Yeah.
got it, cliched at times,
Yeah.
and dragged a little bit.
It's a good-
but
it's a good-
it's good.
I even enjoy
like,
the filler episodes of
yeah,
it. Like
it's totally. There's definitely some filler.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Obi-Wan, on the other hand, though.
Oh, we're getting there already.
Yeah.
Bro,
okay. So
I hate.
we had a text group going the whole time during Obi-Wan.
Yes.
We all suffered through this together.
hate it.
Obi-Wan was one of the biggest disappointments
Definitely.
I've experienced in years
Yeah.
in television.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was bad.
It's
Like Obi-Wan is so clearly a movie
Yep.
that was padded out to be this,
Launch.
extended thing. And you could see a movie in there.
It-
you
and it
could
was-
see a decent movie is hiding in that show.
And the only reason why we liked it was unironically just because of the stuff that was happening in the show, like the Grand Inquisitor when he came back to life, and he's
Oh yes.
and you will be where we left you in the gutter.
Oh, Joe, you had to be there. 'Cause
Cold world, no blanket.
in the second episode, I said out loud to Nick and whoever else was there, if they kill this guy, I'm walking out of the house. And they just kind of like smiled and looked at me, and I saw where this was going, and I'm thinking, please no, please no. And then she stabs him. I went, oh. Yeah, they don't want a good villain in this show, do they? And I
They want
I
Reva.
wanted to walk out so bad, but when he came back, I knew what he was gonna say, and it was the greatest thing.
It's sad that the highlight of the Obi-Wan show is not even Obi-Wan. It is a throwaway line from an animated character.
not throwaway.
yeah.
It was. You're right. It wasn't a throwaway. It was a
forever.
perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect line.
Diss track level. he oh my gosh. Even the angle that they shot it out that was at a slant and it's just
Yeah.
like both looking down at her. Oh, I said the line with him. I knew what he was gonna say. In the gut. Oh.
So So if we're doing this, let's say the good things about Obi-Wan before we get into all of the rest of it. Like Vader was handled well.
Yes.
I feel like in Obi-Wan.
Kind
Brutal.
of. At times.
At the ending,
times.
the final episode with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting with each other, and then his mask is split, and then you're.
See,
you're
I think
talking-
that's
that.
cool. I think it was lit so terribly though.
But I think that's what made it great because it was lit so terribly. It's like you can barely see him, but it's like when you do, it's like, oh man, he is burnt, messed up in this metal tube, this metal prison, and he's just like his mind is just gone.
I think I just have an association with Star Wars with high quality cinematography, and I really just feel like I know the CGI's been bad, but even when the CGI's been bad, at least the sets have been nice. Like really nice set design because they film on location. If you go look up where they film all these Star Wars, it'll blow you away how globe-trotting it is.
Really? Okay.
Where they go. But Obi-Wan is probably the ugliest Star Wars thing I've probably ever seen. Like the show as a whole was just ugly.
Yeah, and it'd be different if they try to include that and like make that wide or make it included in the show. Like this world is dirty because of how the Empire has ruled over Tatooine and these planets, but it's just dirt.
Oh, the first word that comes to mind with Obi-Wan is sloppy. The cinematography is sloppy. The editing and the pacing of the show is sloppy. The storytelling is sloppy. The acting is sloppy.
Yeah.
You don't like the chase scenes?
It's so redundant. Well, and the fact you're gonna try to tell me that my boy Obi-Wan is gonna leave Luke, abandon Luke in the desert to go run around on this little space mission.
It's Leia.
Yeah, but they established in the canon. It's canon. This comes down to canon here. You established in Revenge of the Sith, and it ties in with A New Hope that everybody's got their responsibilities. They know what we got to do. And first of all, Obi-Wan's going to let this Jedi die, and just period. Like no repercussions, no grief, no reflection.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
That's already like
Which
really,
Jedi?
Remember when that Jedi came in the beginning? It was like, Obi-Wan, bro, like I know that's you. Can you come help me? And Obi-Wan's like, bro, just forget the religion,
And then-
just dip.
And
Don't
then
try
they
to do nothing.
execute that guy.
And then like they're just
Grand
Obi-Wan just doesn't
Inquisitor.
care.
I mean, it lines up with Luke Skywalker.
Ooh, dang!
Ouch.
Ooh,
Ouch.
He came for Luke.
See,
He came for
this-
Luke.
this-
I knew what I was doing.
This is my
He's turning in
point
his
right
chair. He's
here.
turning in his chair, ladies and
This is
gentlemen.
my point right here. You see, they will break down these characters even if it messes with what we know about them, right? Like this. There are so many things in this Obi-Wan show that go against everything that
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan has been established in the prequels and the trilogy.
Just to get a
right?
hello there.
Just to, like,
really did
it
it.
drives.
They really did. They did the hello there.
Yeah, they did help. And it's weird because it's like Obi-Wan he ends the show right back where he started. There's no like
He's just talking to Force Qui-Gon, which honestly, I think that should have been the whole show. The whole show is him talking to Qui-Gon and it being like a trauma piece of how
Yes,
he's
thank
dealing
you,
of
thank
how
you.
he's dealing with what happened.
I agree.
Leaving his best friend to die, his entire religion getting burned up into flames. Him being on the run, him taking this responsibility.
I totally agree.
But no, they went on a side quest to go help Leia get kidnapped twice in the same show. For him to fight Darth Vader twice and still win both times. It's like, why? What's the point of him fighting Darth Vader? Darth Vader is supposed to be this imposing threat where it's like, if Darth Vader comes, Darth Vader's slaughtering everyone in this room.
Darth Vader letting Reva live makes no sense to me. That's what I mean by I don't know how well he was
Yeah.
Like there were moments with Darth Vader that were cool, and I think Hayden Christensen did a good job, with the acting, and he really, like the flashback scenes and the scene with the fight. Like I think there's some good things going on there. I wouldn't believe that Darth Vader would let her.
Oh no, most of the time he probably would have split her in half with the Force, because that's the type of person Darth Vader is. He's just merciless.
I mean, he already has given her mercy.
Yeah, he let her live.
Because
already.
earlier in the show, I liked that it showed that he gave her mercy. Because again, this kind of shows that there's still hope and there's still light in him, right?
Yeah.
But then after that second, I was like, okay, no, this is pushing
He
it.
straight up snapped the kid's neck.
Straight up snapped the kid's
Right,
neck. He should have
right.
snapped Reva's neck.
Well, and I've told you guys before that this is a show that I have authority based on people who I've talked to to say that this is a show that a lot of writing was interfered with,
Yeah.
Like a lot of things were changed. I have no doubt that Reva was supposed to be killed. And that whole garbage in the last episode of her going after Luke and all that was all added later, So it's like,
I do like that I forget their names, but the Luke's aunt and uncle, like they were strapped. Like, like his auntie was like,
they weren't strapped when they got taken out by the
and
Empire.
that's something too. Is like, bro,
all these things don't make sense. I'm telling you,
a whole Sith came in there like, bro, we are gonna shoot the mess out of her. We're gonna go on the high ground.
Obi-Wan is probably tied with something from Marvel as the most disappointing thing of the year for me. Easily.
What were you gonna say, Jace?
Yeah.
No, it's just a question about what happened to him. I can ask you guys later.
This is the time we're talking about the podcast. We're talking about the show.
No, I meant I thought that his aunt and uncle were killed by
Stormtroopers.
Tusken Raiders.
No.
they're
It
killed.
wasn't Tusken Raiders. It was the Empire.
Oh, that makes sense.
When they're looking for Luke or the droids or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did you figure out what your favorite Star Wars movie is?
No, honestly, no, not really. Like, just not Jar Jar. That's really the only
There
thing.
you go. As long as it doesn't have Jar Jar in it. Or it's like Revenge of the Sith where they mute him. They just make him a background prop, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember which one was he, like some sort of a royal guy for a hot minute, and then like he was
Episode
not there
2.
anymore.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like all that point in time, I guess Attack of the Clones was probably the worst one then.
Really? Well, he did serve an important piece because he was
I don't care for him,
manipulated by Palpatine to give him more power.
Bro, he gave
Oh,
all
man.
the power to Palpatine.
All the power.
It was smart. If
Yeah.
you follow the political line from 1 to 2 to 3, it's got a really cool overarching
It
political
does.
line.
It does.
And that's honestly why I love Andor, because Andor shows the political side of things, and just it's low key with everything, but it's also like, I don't want to say it feels like Star Wars, but it has those elements where it's like, if this wasn't a Star Wars show, this would still be a really, really great show.
And that, and I haven't watched Andor. I'm not ready to give Star Wars my time again.
Oh man, Hey,
But I'm glad
Yeah.
it's good. I've been hearing good things about it, and I'm glad it's good.
and it's weird because this is a character that's going to be dying anyways in Rogue One,
Right.
But it's still,
Great movie.
the whole Rogue
Yeah,
One is one of the best Star Wars movies, to be
Yep,
completely
yep.
honest. But you still feel for him. You still like in this journey with Andor. You're feeling with the characters. There's no character in that
Is
in
the
that show.
droid in it?
No, KTSO. He's
Come
not
on.
in. He's going to be later, and I have a theory. And I have a theory about how he gets it.
Okay.
But
I will watch that now.
but even like the new droid that they have, the little box emo droid.
Box emo?
He gets my feels all the time. Oh my gosh, it's a really good show.
is he pathetic?
Not pathetic, but he has a little stutter to him because he's older and he's kind of broken down, and he's just like, oh man, I can't with Jason. But I'm really enjoying Andor.
How do you, just to open a can of worms a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
how do you guys feel? So they kind of tested this out with the Obi-Wan show, where the Darth Vader voice, they
it's
have
not
James
actu-
Earl Jones AI now.
Yeah.
So he sold the rights to his voice to
what
Disney.
a
So
time.
that way,
Right.
So how do you feel that in future appearances of Darth Vader, it will be all AI?
I don't think there need to be future appearances of Darth
No,
Vader.
there will be. I
know.
think the Acolyte,
Forever.
right? I think in the Acolyte they want to bring him in.
I didn't even know that they were making another
what?
show.
They've got like 10 shows coming.
It's never gonna stop.
I mean, I know it's never going to stop, but I didn't even know that show was coming.
Oh yeah, they've got a whole lineup coming. I'm pretty sure Darth Vader's going to be in a couple of these shows too.
I'm cool with the voice in that sense, but when they start bringing back dead characters, that's where I'm like, this is kind of unethical and unmoral. Where we're bringing like with immoral. Thank you, sir. God bless your ministry. Like with Tarkin, bringing him back as a CGI character.
Yeah. Well, having
I
a real
still thought he
actor
was
there,
cool.
but making
But even with like, this isn't Star Wars, but with Ghostbusters, the guy who was the fourth Ghostbuster, the scientist,
Yeah.
he passed away. And they brought him back in CGI in the new Ghostbusters movie, and I'm kind of like, that's I don't know how I feel about that.
They did it with Tupac too, so you gotta.
That's true. They did do it with Tupac, but it's just like you're making money off of these dead characters, and you're not like foul. I know when
it's foul.
Well, that's
it's foul.
why they're trying to get these actors to sign it over.
That's so what you're
sign your soul.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
There actually is a movie. There's a movie called The
appearance.
Congress that came out like almost 10 years ago that actually deals with that subject no, it's about like an actress who, you know, she's getting older, so she's not getting cast for much films anymore. And so they say, if you sign away your likeness, then we'll keep you young forever. Dude. And it actually explores that ethically about how like, it's all about like,
that's pretty easy. It's not ethical. It's weird.
Right.
Imagine them doing that with Stan Lee, putting him into movies with just like his.
That's actually a debate right now that's happening because Marvel was trying to do. I believe Marvel was trying to do that, and the Stan Lee estate is trying to shut it down.
Good.
But the compromise. Here's the compromise. They did come to a compromise though, and the compromise is that they can use Stan Lee. They could still use Stan Lee. Using old sound bites from things he said and animate him, but they cannot AI create anything new for Stan Lee to say.
Weird.
So if Stan Lee said something like, "Hey, true believers," in like 1983 or
they
whatever,
can use that and put
they
like
can
an animated
use
movie.
that and animate it. Yep, that's
Okay.
so. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Like
That's
ethically,
just let people be dead,
Right?
Like, just let people be dead.
Need more lines.
Yeah.
Well, I think as a society, we have a hard time dealing with that.
Yeah.
And this shows like we can't just let something be dead.
Yeah.
We have to
or complete.
We have to find a way to keep eternal life, you
Well,
know.
as you were saying, you guys were talking about how there's a lot of grief in film nowadays. So I feel like that's their rebuttal to all of that. Like, oh, see, we can handle grief. We just animate it.
Yeah.
We just keep the person here forever.
But even in Thor, they can't handle grief because they have to put comedy in
everything.
They can't even commit to a fully dedicated grief.
Grief is an awkward moment for people. Like, it's vulnerability.
When you can hold on a moment on an actor when they're going through that pain, that relates to you a whole lot more than it being like, okay, a sad little comment, then like, oh, joke time, hoo 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 hoo, because that's not real. Sitting in that grief, sitting in that moment, sitting in that pain.
Man, Pixar's made films that deal better with grief than these latest MCU films.
Inside Out.
I mean,
you gotta be careful because is that a transition into Pixar?
No, it's a transition into Marvel.
I think,
but with Marvel, so we specifically talked about the Infinity Saga when we did that 2-part episode.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to talk about anything
4.
with Phase 4, shows or films.
Phase 4 sucks. Phase 4.
The multiverse saga is not doing it for you, Joe?
I'm glad Iron Man died because he doesn't have to deal with it.
Iron Man in this phase.
Bro, if they kept Iron Man, they would have been making him twerk and stuff like that, bro.
If it helps, that was a cutscene at the end of the thing. It wasn't an actual part of the series. Just throwing it out there.
It was Robert Downey Jr. literally just being in his trailer twerking. But it's just it's literally just like you don't feel like it was. You don't feel like the universe was worth saving after with this phase 4 stuff. It's like they're making jokes off of what happened and with the snap and things like that.
The way they're undercutting it. Like
everything,
that scene in Loki where it's like, oh, we got all these Infinity Stones here.
I'm kind of cool with that. I'm kind of cool with the Loki stuff because the Loki thing is like, this is outside of the space and time. It's but when you're inside the universe and you have a Baskin Robbins ice cream parlor,
that's another one
that, but it's based off the Infinity Gauntlet. That's like having an ice cream shop based off of 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is, we do it
animated, so I mean, like, I don't know if it goes that serious, but
I
get what you're saying.
But like, if you're taking the context of that universe, and it's like this moment where half the life in the universe was blinked out, and now we're selling ice cream with the Infinity Gauntlet in it. Like, come get some. Remember when you all got dusted?
He's just going through the Georgia Guidestones, you know. He's just following.
I will say, that's very reflective of our culture. Even with the tragedies that happen, on a big scale, no one says anything, but look at the comment sections, look at the youth, look at everything. No one has any sense of what's holy or what's sacred.
That's
true. What can we make fun of? What can we lampoon? What can we twist?
Yeah, nothing
just for a joke.
Yeah.
So that would have totally happened.
It's ironic because
true.
here's the big irony about Phase 4 is Phase 4 is this mixed bag of that, right? So like you guys all know how I feel about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness because that's my other biggest disappointment next to Obi-Wan, right?
See what all the Phase 4 stuff.
And you know that scene in Doctor Strange 2 where they're in the Illuminati, and we're gonna bring back Patrick Stewart's Professor X, which is like
next snap.
a very sacred role in comic book film, right? And just casually just kind of take him out, right? Like they brought him back for like a few minutes
to kill him again.
just to kill him by someone that is by far less powerful than him.
That's disrespect, bro.
The scene will infuriate you. It is so disrespectful.
Don't get him started about
now
it.
I'm like, all right, I don't want to. I'm gonna get mad at everybody.
Honestly, it's not.
These are childhood things for me.
Well, and here's the thing, right?
No.
So here's the thing is like there's this like lack of reverency for just a lot of things that you see in Phase 4, right? Like don't even get me started on Daredevil's character in She-Hulk. Just how they threw that character under, like trying to.
He literally took a walk of shame after sleeping with She-Hulk in that show.
Well, just the fact that even like
that was a correct answer. Correct.
Yeah, just even.
Let me see this.
Yeah.
This is a list of Phase 4 movies.
There's some of that stuff that they didn't
But then
actually put
here's
out.
the other thing. But here's the other weird thing about Phase 4. Then we get No Way Home in Phase 4.
We get Shang-Chi in Phase 4. Shang-Chi is I love Shang-Chi.
Well,
I love Shang-Chi.
Well, and No Way Home is incredibly reverent of what came before it.
Yeah.
When you think of the Raimi and the Webb films.
Yeah.
Even like you could have dogged on those films and you could have done
Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man and things like that.
And I admit there is one line where they do that.
With the
where they're
Peter
like,
one?
Where they're where they say, where's the real Peter Parker?
Oh.
I'm like, I see what you're doing, Feige. I know what you're trying to say here,
Yeah.
But
when does he say that?
I think Ned
they say
says
it when they have to go when they're the two other Spider-Man are there and they have to go find Tom's. But overall, the movie is incredibly reverent and it stands out for me in Phase 4 as kind of like it's sad because like if they want to do this whole like fan bait kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
At least do it like No Way Home.
Yeah.
Where there was a degree of reverency. Don't even get me started on freaking Ralph Boner and WandaVision. Like, you bring back my boy, Quicksilver. You bring him, you show him at the door. And we get all hyped. I clapped in my living room. Like, let's go. They're bringing the best of the X-Men characters.
I was like, whoa, wait, are they really doing this?
I was like, they're doing this. And it's like, oh, what's his real name? Ralph Boner?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, but and I know, I honestly don't believe that. Like, I think they will reveal that these Fox characters are really, especially with Hugh Jackman coming back for Deadpool 3 and stuff.
I'm terrified of that.
What are they going to do with him?
Like, what are they going to do with, like, Hugh Jackman?
Pants him and give him a wedgie.
What's the thing? Is it going to be No Way? Is it going to be a No Way Home situation?
I can see that. I can see, like, Deadpool doing that to him. Just, got you over
Sorry, Derrick, what were you saying?
Is it going to be a No Way Home situation with Deadpool 3? Or is it going to be a Doctor Strange 2 or WandaVision situation? Like, that's the thing is, I have a lot of faith in Ryan Reynolds.
But now he's under the mouse. It's completely different.
He is under the mouse. But I feel like the reason why Deadpool 3 has taken so long to get off the ground is because there's probably been a lot of creative clash.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they've worked it out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be rated R. I'm pretty sure it's going to be released as a 20th Century Fox, right?
Yeah,
so
that'd be...
I have to hope that Hugh Jackman, who's a really good actor, is going to hopefully sign on, knowing well, like, that it's gonna.
But like with these movies now, they tell you like, oh, we're gonna be doing this, this, and this, and then they switch it up in mid-production when they're already in the contract and already filming stuff.
Well, that's because they from what I hear is that these movies are made in the editing room. They're not.
It's like with Blade. Like you get
the whole Blade situation.
Oh my god, we were supposed to have Blade in this phase, and we're not having Blade.
Well, because
we're gonna redo that.
say that. Sorry, both of you guys asked.
They're going to redo Blade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's taken so long to get off the ground because of creative differences.
Yeah.
I will.
Sorry, one more thing. So like Marvel, it's not really a place for writers.
Yeah.
You know, like because
the formula.
if you write something, it's gonna have to go under Feige. But who knows how much they change on set with filming and in the editing room. I have no doubt that they've probably filmed multiple versions of things and cut it all together in the editing room. And that's when they figure out what story they're telling after they've already, right?
It's gross.
So, this thing you keep hearing is like, you have actors that don't even like Benedict Cumberbatch was like, I don't know how this movie's gonna like.
I don't even know my character. I don't know my character.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. Like that's the kind of stuff that makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Is like, where's the vision?
Yeah.
Where's the director's
Vision turned into a white suit and then flew off, and we've never seen him since.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be back in something. Well, that's another issue with Phase 4 too. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jason. That's another issue. Is just nothing ever seems
connected. Not even connected.
Like permanent. Like Vision's death in Infinity War should matter. Yeah, but it doesn't.
Well, I mean, like considering how the comic books always went. Like I grew up reading like the Avengers and stuff like that. So like seeing how that worked, where people would kind of dip out into a different comic book for a while, and then they show back up into another part there, and then they dip off. And so like having them dip out into a different movie or whatever, and then come back into another one, and you know, kind of slip in between different places through the cracks and whatever. Like that seems reasonable, considering the way that thing actually was written in the first place. So I mean, like it could be. As far as the vision is concerned, it could be trying to get it as close to how that stuff literally played out. In the books,
I understand it in comic books, but I think in cinema it's different because I think film, it's just a different medium. You don't get as much of it as you get comics like every week, every month, right?
Yeah.
Cinema, you only get like a film, you know, you get a few films a year.
I mean, well, they're trying to fit.
I know, right?
They're trying to do everything in a year.
But on top of that, there's so many other stories they could tell. Why do they need to bring a dead character back?
Yeah,
that part
you
I don't
know,
like.
because there's so many stories. We haven't even gotten Silver Surfer in the MCU yet. You know, so it's like there's so many things they haven't done.
Well, Jason, what were you? Sorry.
Yeah, Jason. Sorry, I know you had something.
There were a few thoughts I had. So with Deadpool 3, we look at Deadpool 2 and we see that it could go either two ways. They had Cable, which
was phenomenal.
He was awesome. They did really cool with him. Juggernaut was awesome.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they still shoved an electric cable up his butt.
Yeah.
So, and I was pretty upset. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
But so my thing with Wolverine is I'm nervous because it can go one of two ways.
Yeah, it can.
There's a lot of character assassination. There's a lot of, oh, you like this thing? Well, we're going to twist it so that you don't like this thing, but it's definitely better for you. That's something that Taika Waititi or whatever even said. And there's that touch kind of going on, is that anything can be reanimated, necromanced, twisted how we want it, and it's going to sell. And that's why there's this sense of we're going to keep things going forever because, well, there's money behind it. People love this thing, and so they go, oh, you love this thing? We're going to sell it to you forever, for as long as people want to buy it. That's why they have Darth Vader still. That's why they're bringing Wolverine back. That's why they cannot let these things die, is because they don't want to.
Let the past die.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
Yeah, right? Oh, we don't even have any more.
It always goes back to Last Jedi. Always.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely think that's what's going on. And it sucks because when you look at like trends in films over time, you know, like there's certain things that have their time, their moment in the spotlight, right? So if I could take you all the way through like, you know, 100 years of film, you know, in like the 20s and 30s, it was like a lot of those monster films, you know, like the Frankenstein, Dracula.
Oh, I love The Blob.
Yeah, like it was all that type of stuff, right?
The Fly, man. Yeah. Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, that's
that
Came
came.
in the Body Snatchers.
Well,
yes.
Oh, the Body Snatchers was
in. These were good. This is peak cinema.
Yeah. in the 40s, it was a lot of like historical period dramas. You know, like your your Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind. In the 50s, you get a lot of the biblical epics, you know, your Ben-Hur, your Ten Commandments, you know, stuff like that. 60s, the Western really peaks.
Yep.
70s, you get the filmmaker. 70s is an odd decade for film. A lot of people consider that the best decade in film.
Okay.
Because it's considered the auteur or the director-driven decade, where that's where pretty much most of the best directors are either they were in that era or they're inspired by that era. But it was diverse. 70s is probably the most diverse era of film that's ever existed. You know, when you think of what came out every year in theaters. 80s, it was definitely like the sci-fi boom.
Yep.
Like everyone was trying to make the next big sci-fi, the next Star Wars, right? You know, you had your Blade Runners, your Back to the Futures, your E.T. Yeah. In the 90s, it was definitely comedies that were the big thing. Yeah, romantic comedies, slapstick comedies, you know, your Jim Carrey's, your Adam Sandler's. Yeah. So your SNL, you know.
Yeah.
In the 2000s, it was definitely the fantasy. The fantasy and young adult peak, right?
Lord of the Rings,
so you had your
Twilight.
Lord of the Rings, Twilight, Harry Potter, Narnia. Everybody was trying to do. Was trying
and started making movies.
trying to do it right.
The generation of book nerds can make movies now.
Right, exactly. And then the 2010s, I think, is definitely going to go down as the decade of the superhero film, like undoubtedly.
Yeah.
So it's interesting though, because if you look at all these trends, they try to keep pushing beyond their time, so
and then
to
they
speak.
can't. Yeah.
And you see, even though there might be things that are still popular, like right now, superhero films are still popular and they're still pretty high on the box office. But the returns are diminishing.
Yep.
The reviews and the praise is not as high as it used to be.
Yeah.
And the thing I've noticed is even the buzz is not as high.
Yeah.
Like when I first started working with, with you guys at Urban Youth, the kids could not shut up about the next, the next Marvel thing that was, the hype was so big in youth culture.
Yeah.
Now a lot of them
honestly they talk more about anime than they do with the actual Marvel stuff.
I think anime is the next big thing for young people.
It's been a big thing.
It's been a big thing. Yeah,
since the 90s.
Yeah.
Like with the Dragon Ball era.
I think it's definitely having a resurgence. Though,
yeah.
They need to bring back Kung Fu movies. That's
Kung Fu Panda?
There's a fourth one coming out.
I know there's a fourth one coming out.
Oh man,
real Kung Fu movies, like Enter the Dragon and stuff like that. Like those, like the all that cool Kung Fu movie stuff. Like the
Rush Hour.
All that. No.
Rush Hour can fall into the Kung Fu. This is gonna
the guys that are like the Chow Yun Fat and like all those different guys, like, but even further back than that, I can't even remember half their names, but like just those old, real like gritty Kung Fu movies. Yeah. They just do some wild stuff and like they're throwing blades at people's faces and stuff, and like they're real graphic and like dramatic, but then it's like the scenes are insane.
Yeah.
Like the choreography in those things was just top notch stuff. They were real stuntmen over and over and over again. Jackie Chan's team actually was like the top dogs for generations. Like they were phenomenal. And he was always, he was running things essentially for a long time.
Right.
Bruce Lee's team, same deal. Like they were just running stuff.
It's tough to say what the biggest thing is going to be for this decade. I think right now what I'm seeing, if I could predict, I think the thing, and I don't even know how to categorize it, but I think the big thing I'm seeing right now is kind of like the postmodern social commentary film. So like if you think Get Out or Everything Everywhere, like it's these movies that are very like, they're very of our time. They're very of our time right now. They're very critical of a lot of things. There's a bit of nihilism, I would even say, in it, but that's kind of what a lot of the things, like every year when I see like what's the biggest movie, it's a lot of that type of stuff I'm seeing that's getting really.
Even Nope, like with
I haven't seen Nope, but would you say that falls under that?
It pretty much talks about when you're just consumed by not social media, but just like the media in general, like the media and the film industry sucks up all the good things and spits out everything else. So just tuck you in, spit it out. Just like what they're doing with everything else, milking everything like Star Wars, Marvel, all these different properties that they just can't let die, and they'll just keep consuming.
Wow. I'm digging the obscure historical films, the ones that they're digging into facts that are like, people don't really know this one. We need to bring this forward.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is.
Do you have like an
cool
example of that?
12 Years a Slave. It was a book.
Oh, yeah.
And then it turned into a whole, like, that was such a phenomenal piece of work. Like, that whole film, very emotional, very deep. Like, they were real straightforward with it. They didn't try to milk it or anything like that. They were just, here's a story. Here's what really happened in those days. Like, how are you good with that or not? Like,
I always do. Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate those kind of stories too.
I'm even thinking of 1917. I
haven't seen 1917.
I haven't been able to see it fully too, but that's one of those things I do want to watch.
Such a good movie, dude.
It is okay.
And the way that they shot that, actually, I ended up looking into like the extras and stuff like that. I dig all that. And so the way they shot that was they did a continual scene from the beginning to the end. It was a continual shoot. So like when they would pause it, it was just to like set up for the next scene.
Yeah.
And they would start at the end of the last scene
and just keep
then
going
move into a whole new scene, a whole new situation, and it was just straight through. You're just running with the guy as he's going through.
Oh, I like that.
I can't. I gotta check that one out.
So
I'm not like a big war movie person, but there's a few like when they do it well, you know.
Private Ryan, yeah.
See, I'm not a big Private Ryan guy.
Really?
I think technically...
Get out.
I know.
Boo this man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Seen it.
You haven't seen
I'll jump in that
it? Boo both of you.
so good. So good. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Have you seen
think
Midway?
Oscars.
Any of you seen Midway?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
really liked Midway.
Midway is great. Oh.
Midway had me on the edge of my seat.
Dunkirk sucked. Sorry.
I
haven't
get to see
seen Dunkirk.
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
All right, we can throw that away
I
then.
thought they could have done better with that.
We gotta watch that one.
It felt like it was lacking. It was lacking pulse, really. Like it just felt like it was a lot of waiting. And then when something finally did happen, it was pretty short lived. And like, I mean, the story in and of itself, sure, I understand historically speaking.
Yeah.
Not all history is like boom pow whatever. But
Yeah.
that was just one of those like, okay, that was a cool rescue mission, all that jazz. I dig it. Like I appreciate the fact it happened in real life, but as a film, it just didn't
catch.
It didn't
Yeah.
move me.
What's the one with Andrew Garfield in it?
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Cry
That
every
was
time.
really-
Cry every time with that one.
Hacksaw Ridge is
Yeah,
that's an
that's a
example of
story.
like a story, right?
Yeah.
Getting a very unfamiliar story maybe to a lot of people.
Yeah.
that is a trend I'm seeing in film, and I do appreciate that. Is a good
love
trend
that.
I'm seeing that. I really do like that we're trying to find these stories and kind of bring them to light.
Yeah.
Like Silence is one we've seen, Joe, and
Yeah.
even though those are
Oh.
fictional characters, it's telling about the real situation of these Catholic missionaries coming to Japan and
Yeah, that was a hitter on the drive home because I'm just like,
yeah, you're just sitting there
I'm sitting 40 minutes drive home, just like, dude, like, this movie hit me.
This movie hits. Yeah, I think Silence is it's a top tier movie for me. Like
not
easily a top
It's good.
tier. Andrew Garfield, Adam Driver, and Liam Neeson. Like, how is that
yeah.
not a perfect?
That's a cast.
That's
Yeah.
a trifecta
And Liam.
of a lead cast.
And Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's in there.
Yeah. You got Qui-Gon,
You got Spider-Man.
Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man in a movie. You know it's gonna be good. But then you have Martin Scorsese directing it, who's also one of the great filmmakers of all time. So it's like, how can you not go wrong?
Yeah.
And
It doesn't.
it doesn't. No, it's easily one of the best films I've ever seen. It's top tier filmmaking.
And say this thing. Is that Silence you're talking about?
Silence, yes.
Not of the Lambs.
Not of the Lambs, no.
Although also another phenomenal film.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen Silence of the Lambs.
Same.
Good. Oh, man, these are some top tier films we're talking about. Like these are things.
Well, I feel like we're kind of venturing into like just talking about great films,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's weird because when we were talking about war films, it's hard to like classify this as a war film, but it kind of is. But like one of the films that like I just have I don't even want to say I have fun watching it, but it kind of is Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, yeah. That's a movie you could say is fun.
Yeah, it's a weird film to say that it's
Just
fun.
killing
Well, it's like
Nazis.
Django
sad
Unchained
talking
is
Django.
kind of like
Yeah.
it's a less serious take on a really serious thing. But
Yeah.
like, the way they do it is it just theatrically.
It's like
entertaining.
it's an alternate history of how the war in Germany was.
Well, it's historical fiction.
Yeah.
But I also see like what Tarantino's trying to. There's a lot he's trying to say in that film, and I think most of it lands.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple ethical things in there that I'm a little like.
probably.
They're scalping Nazis.
Well, yeah,
That's just a little
the
bit,
whole
so.
idea that we're gonna beat the Nazis by resorting to their methods is kind of It kind of rubs me like we're gonna recruit Jews and get them to act like Nazis. That to me has always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I know that's not like a huge part of the movie.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of stuff he's saying that's really interesting. You know.
Yeah.
In that film that you don't get in a lot of other films, like. Tarantino loves his revenge. Mm-hmm. He loves a good revenge story. Tale.
Yeah.
But what I think sets this film apart from any other of his films is the fact that the Jewish girl, I forget her name, Shoshana, yeah.
Oh, dang, that's in fact, you remember that?
She is so blinded by her mission for revenge, like so laser focused on it, that she cannot see the with the actor guy, with Daniel Bruhl's character, with his character, like she cannot see.
Oh yeah, that like he actually like cares for her and stuff like that.
Well, like she can't believe it.
Yeah,
and it's because of that he eventually kills her.
Yeah,
which is like part of the tragedy of that. Yeah, is that she, and I think that's an interesting commentary on revenge. Mm-hmm. And what it can do to you. It can almost. It can make you so laser focused in one thing that you're not able to see.
You're blind to everything else.
Your blind spot. Yeah. I thought that was such a cool concept. And I mean, that opening scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's super intense.
It's easily, I think, in my top 5 favorite opening scenes of all time in cinema.
Can I get some milk?
Like, my heart was racing in the theater watching that opening. Like, what is going to happen?
So slow.
Yeah.
So well executed.
Mm-hmm. And I love that's the type of stuff I love when things are slow and they just pause on moments. Yep, on people's facial expressions and just that emotion of it all.
He gets to do my favorite section of Django is the middle of Django where he's kind of doing that similar pacing. Yeah, where they're all just having a conversation.
Yep,
and then Calvin Candy picks up on something and that's when things pick up. And well, and Inglourious does it twice too because they do the whole scene in the basement with Michael Fassbender and all them.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes too. They caught him because he did the 3 with these instead of the 3 with this. I never knew why that caught him, why that told him off until I realized the Germans did that in 3. I'm like, oh dang, bro, and it's just that subtle thing. It's like, bro. You told on everybody, man.
So, if Inglourious is my favorite Tarantino, yours is Django.
Definitely
right?
Django.
Definitely.
Hands down Django.
Yeah.
Love that
Jamie
movie.
Foxx brings it.
Yes, he does.
He brings it.
Everybody brings it in that.
I like seeing Christoph Waltz in a hero role.
Yep. Samuel Jackson in it. What's it called? What's Titanic? Leonardo
DiCaprio. Yeah. DiCaprio is my favorite character to watch.
I love him in that role. Yeah, I love him in that role because not only is he just like this. Like, you would like him if he wasn't a slave owner. Yeah. Like, yeah, like, okay, this is a nice dude, but he literally sent dogs after somebody to rip that slave apart. Whoo, like
everybody in that film is really and I think like Inglourious Django, those are like I think some of the strongest performances in any Tarantino
that's
film.
That's gonna be the new Django movie.
And Reservoir Dogs, like those both were like classic. Mm-hmm. Reservoir Dogs was just crazy.
I've never seen that one.
Film.
I haven't seen that
Reservoir
one either.
Dogs.
Yeah, once it moves along, it picks.
That's his first film too.
It gets pretty violent. It's definitely a good movie. Dog Day Afternoon. I don't remember if that was his or not.
That's not him. No.
Oh, okay. Similar kind of stuff though, where it's just fast-paced, crazy stuff happening there.
Mm-hmm. He's really
Tarantino just rips it up.
He really has a style, and I think people appreciate when you come to a film and you might not know what to expect, but you kind of do know what to expect. Mm-hmm. You know, like watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm like, eventually there's going to be something crazy happening in this really long movie that drags.
Or even what's it called?
And then it did, and you're like, okay.
What's the story when it's a group of them in there in that cabin?
Hateful Eight.
Yes, Hateful Eight. Yeah. I would say that's one of my second favorites. Yeah, Hateful Eight is a great one.
That one takes its time too.
Yes.
Really takes its time to get going and develop that. When he creates great antagonists too. Mm-hmm. Like I think what's his name in Inglourious? Is it
Hans?
The Jew,
the bear Jew or whatever.
No, not the bear Jew, the Jew hunter.
The Jew hunter.
Yeah.
I mean,
the one in the beginning.
He is one of the best antagonists in film. Like Tarantino does create really good protagonists and antagonists.
Yeah.
That, Did you have a favorite Tarantino movie, Jason?
I never really watched too many of them. I think you'd have to name them off for me to really pick one. The only one I can automatically recall is Pulp Fiction, which I did like. That one was up and down, just very calm, very casual. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah,
what?
Samuel Jackson. Does Tarantino just like Samuel Jackson in his movies?
Yeah, he's just one of those classic actors that gets to hop in on his roles. I think they're friends.
He's in pretty.
Because he will say it.
No, he's not in. He's not in Kill Bill, but he's in pretty much everything else.
He's not.
Because even in Glorious, he's not in it, but he's doing. I think he's doing the narrations, right?
Is he?
Doesn't he do like the random narrations in that movie, like when they pop
I have
in?
to re-listen to it, but
I thought it was him.
It wouldn't put it
which
past
movie?
me.
In
Inglourious
Inglourious Bastards. I thought he was
I
doing
can't
those
remember.
random narrations that pop in the movie a couple times, but
Yeah, I gotta rewatch that one.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
I heard he has a TV show coming out.
What's Samuel Jackson gonna be doing?
No. Tarantino.
I'm about to say, what is Samuel Jackson gonna do besides cussing?
Tarantino made an 8 episode miniseries that's coming out next year, apparently.
Really?
I wonder. I have no idea what it's going to be about or anything.
I heard that
but-
he was almost going to make like a Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to make a Star Trek.
Imagine
a rated R
Tarantino
Star
doing
Trek
this.
movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. I'm not a big Star Trek fan.
I'm not
like,
either,
it's
but
the
I would watch
style
it.
of it.
Worth
Yeah.
watching. Worth watching.
It's interesting because there were a lot of film series that we haven't talked about in the show, right? We've talked about Disney and Pixar. We've talked about Spider-Man, X-Men. I did some episodes that you guys weren't here for where we did Lord of the Rings and Narnia, Harry Potter, and Studio Ghibli. But there's actually like some more that we haven't even covered yet. So I actually went and reviewed the list again of like these highest, these top film franchises. Here, I want to read to you guys some of the ones we missed.
Okay.
And see what your thoughts are on them, okay?
Go through the list first.
So, go through the whole list?
Of the stuff we missed. Well, if we talk about each
The
one,
whole list.
if we talk about each one as it goes, then we'll probably never get to it. I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to. I mean, some of them we might not even have any. You might not even have anything to say on at all.
I need to talk about 2 hours with the Shrek franchise. So
Oh, never mind.
Shrek was on the
completely
list.
Shrek's on the list.
Of highest grossing film franchises? Oh, yeah.
The first one was good. The rest of them, not so much.
Second one,
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, yeah, Shrek 2. I would say Shrek 2.
Yeah.
It's Puss in Boots. That gets me. And then he has his own little spin-off movie. I love that spin-off movie.
I actually think Shrek 2 is
Humpty
funnier.
Dumpty?
Yes.
Dude, he was horrifying.
Humpty
Dumpty
Dumpty was
like,
such a weird.
I want to throw up whenever I saw him. That guy was just.
Honestly, it was the scenes where Humpty Dumpty is showing that he was involved with all the plot points. And he's just throwing breadcrumbs on Puss in Boots, and the birds just take them away. I'm like, this is peak cinema right here.
That was like hoodwinked.
Yeah, yes, like hoodwink, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I got the list right here. I'll read it out, and then we can mention. So number one is obviously the MCU, right? Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We didn't miss that.
That's by far the highest grossing. Number two, we've also covered it's Star Wars. Number three, we've also covered it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man outside.
Spider-Man is a franchise.
Yep.
In itself. Okay.
Yep. Spider-Man outside of the
MCU.
Well, I mean, the 3 Spider-Man MCU films count as Spider-Man films, not as MCU films in the list. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's interesting. Number 4, Harry Potter. Talked about that.
Okay.
Number 5, we did not talk about. And that's because I actually have never seen a single film from this series, but that's going to change in 2023 because I'm going to finally do this series next year.
What is
Serious.
it?
James Bond.
Never seen any of them. Never seen any of them.
Never seen it. Maybe
I'm
we
with
could
you
do a
too.
couple
I
together.
haven't seen it either.
I'm not interested.
Not
in James
interested?
Bond.
Derek,
Yeah.
I'll watch them with you.
You'll watch them with me?
Yeah, I haven't
People,
seen it.
come
So
on.
Hey, you
So you've seen
people.
them.
Come on.
Okay, so help us out here. So I'm thinking about watching the classic first Doctor No to start with that. Is that a fair place to start?
Absolutely start at the beginning, but I mean,
Okay.
like, as you go, you'll notice that it just gets more and more interesting. Now, a lot of people have an issue when it comes to like Quantum Solace and like the newer ones with
The Daniel Craig?
Daniel
Yeah.
Craig version. I personally think he's a really great Bond, but I think to me now this is probably not the thing for everybody, whatever.
Yeah.
But I like Pierce Brosnan's Bond best.
Oh, interesting. I know he's
GoldenEye and,
a little more
Tomorrow Never
underrated.
Dies. I liked him. And in those ones, yeah, he was one of those ones that's like people go back and forth on him, but like I don't know, he had GoldenEye. That was the Bond.
I'm definitely interested, especially because so I was listening to a Spotify playlist of all the James Bond songs. And I was just like, these songs are bangers. Like, these are like, this is like some of the best, like, because all the songs are written for the movies. So they're written very specifically for the tone and the theme and the lyrics, right? And the vibe. And I'm just like, listen, each song has like there's like a connective tissue, but there's a different vibe in every song. And I knew a lot of the songs. Like, I was like, I know that song.
Okay.
Like Diamonds Are Forever. Like, I know that song. And, what's the Carly Simon, the Nobody Does It Better, like from Spy Who Loved Me. I was like, I know these songs, and I'm like, man, if these songs are as good, if the movies are as good as these songs are, I'm gonna have a good time.
No, they're all very, very well done. It's, I mean, like some of them it's just kind of like chintzy because it's the era of film and whatever, but like the storyline is never lacking. I think, well, maybe one or two of them, but like considering the massive amount of Bond films, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that. So would you need to watch would you need to watch the movies in order or anything like that to understand them?
No, they're like kind of like Doctor Who, where like the character
They can be
changes, but,
standalone.
yeah, like you can definitely just watch it as it is. But like as far as, because it's always different villains, different kind of plot line, even a different Bond in most of them. So they're not like following the only ones that actually start following a legitimate pattern, from what I remember,
Or the Daniel Craig's, right? That's why
because that's like the prequel to Bond in and of itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do want to watch the one with Henry Cavill in it. That's the only one I kind of want to watch.
Well, and I've heard that like the Bond. What's interesting to watch about the Bond movies is they kind of reflect the style of cinema and storytelling at the time, right? So the '60s ones feel very the time. The '70s one feel, and the Daniel Craig ones, I think there's more connective tissue because that's more audiences want more. They want to see
a lot more now.
You know, so it's like that's kind of a cool thing I want to see is I want to see them as kind of these commentaries on cinema and you know, so one day next year
Highly recommend.
the next one on the list is Batman, so we covered that.
Batman.
Then after that is Fast and the Furious. Fast and Furious. I've never gotten into them. I take it nobody here has either. So
Daniela and Michaela love.
Oh yeah, they're all
they
about
love
it.
that
We'll
movie.
give them a shout out, but we're gonna skip it.
I need to be convinced past them just being like,
We're family,
Right?
and now we're in space.
A couple of them were good.
Did they
The
make
first,
it to
like,
space?
Apparently, they made it to space to like the last one.
They're not doing like car chases in space, are they?
I feel like they're doing car chases in space
Oh
now.
my gosh, they jumped the shark.
makes sense to me.
Like
The
Sharknado.
first like three of them were all right, but like
Yeah.
anything after that, you just throw them out.
All right, here's an interesting one that we did not cover because though we talked about Batman, we did not talk about the DC universe.
Really?
Just in general.
Did they
We
give
didn't
us
talk-
much to talk about?
Justice League. They gave us Justice League, the 4-hour version.
The
they
Snyder
should've done
cut?
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It
have
was
not
good,
seen
but
that.
it wasn't great. It was
I
good.
The
I
Snyder-
have to rewatch it. I actually plan on rewatching it this break as well.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
See, I enjoy the Snyder cut. It's going to be a little harder for me to enjoy it now with all the Ezra Miller stuff going on. Watching him as
dog,
the Flash.
man. He's a menace to society.
Menace to society.
He's method acting as reverse
Ezra
Flash.
Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know anything about
Okay,
Ezra?
after this episode, we'll fill you in on it. 'Cause it's a lot.
All right.
But that dude is...
He's pretty much at the level of slapping babies type of supervillain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Sounds fun. All right.
So,
Not actually slapping.
But-
for the record, not slapping babies. That's not
Right.
the fun part.
Got to put him on record. Jacob enjoys slapping.
Hot press.
But I mean, here's some of the films we got, right? So I mean, like if you go outside of the DC universe, technically, I mean, you've got like the original, like Christopher Reeves Superman, which it's a good movie.
Oh, I watched all the Superman.
Good,
Really? Okay.
That first Superman movie is good, you know. It's a good superhero movie.
One of them sucked. I don't remember which one.
The
it was.
probably Quest for Peace. I remember
I think it was
Superman 4 being really bad.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
But you know, when you get to the DCU, you know, you've got everything from Man of Steel. You've got
we did talk about Batman v Superman.
We did talk about Batman v Superman. You've got Suicide. You've got two Suicide Squads. You got Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. And the makes a big difference.
Yeah,
big difference.
Because that movie is much better than regular Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. I mean, Suicide Squad is bottom tier comic book movie for me. It is probably the worst edited movie I might have ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
the editing is atrocious.
First Hulk.
That was trash. I mean,
wait, Hulk,
the first one.
Oh, that's Marvel.
I know it's Marvel. I'm just saying, as far as bad movies.
Oh, like it's on that level.
I actually like the first Hulk.
Yeah. Wait, Lou Ferrigno? Hulk?
No, after Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
With Abomination?
Yes.
I actually met
I like that one.
I actually met Lou Ferrigno at Comic-Con. It was great until I asked to take a picture and he said, "Sure," for $50. And then I said, "It was nice to meet you."
Should have been like, "Oh, time for
have a good day."
Just a picture with you is $50. Now just take a picture of you.
Right. But here's some other ones. Wonder Woman, which I really like Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I like that first Wonder Woman movie quite a lot. It's not perfect, but I definitely like it. I mean, you've mentioned that the Joss Whedon's Justice League is like the bottom, like your worst superhero movie, right?
Yeah, that and Rise of Skywalker are
they're sitting right down there at the bottom.
Movies I wish I could unwatch. Yeah, like I want my money and time back from watching those movies.
Dang,
like it's phenomenally trash. Like, and then comparing it to the new Justice, the Snyder,
it's no comparison.
Yeah,
I went to go see that Justice League movie with somebody, and they turned to me and they said, "Well, that was better than Batman v Superman."
Oh,
and I was thinking, what?
That is a lie straight from the pits of hell.
What?
Honestly, it's like not only in the Justice League movie did they try to make it lighthearted, but they spent so much more money to CGI Henry Cavill's lip and also to go back and put jokes in the movie. They spent so much money to put jokes in the movie that were not even funny.
For the original Justice League?
Yeah, for the one with Josh Whedon.
We have to show Jason the opening scene with Superman's lip,
and you would understand. And you will understand what this movie is showing.
You'll understand exactly what's going on.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up for you.
I was gonna say, I'll
you pull it up
later for you.
Here, I'll list out a few other ones. There's Aquaman, Shazam.
Didn't get to watch those ones. I wanted to watch those ones, but I didn't get to.
Aquaman is very meh for me. I thought Shazam was a little better than Aquaman.
Shazam was fun.
That was a funny movie. That had me cracking up. Man.
I want to watch the second one when it comes out. That one looks good.
Speaking of Shazam, you got Black Adam. You got.
Can we talk about Black Adam? Because I agree with what you were saying about that moral dilemma with the movie and things like that.
Oh yeah, we had a text conversation about.
Yeah, when you were talking about.
You sent us a big long rant after you saw
it. That movie didn't need to happen because it just puts bad thoughts out into the world that everybody loves.
Dang.
That's bad, huh?
It was this darker side that allowed him to be what we need. No.
It's literally showing it's okay to murder people if it gets the job done. And it's weird. It's a very, very weird.
Well, this brings
message.
up an interesting conversation, right? So let me play
devil's advocate.
For a second. So I think I mentioned this in the text too, is like, so you've got something like Deadpool, right? Who's also kind of like this anti-hero, murders people, right? How was Black Adam different? Like, if you could walk away from Deadpool and kind of be like, oh, this is okay, but walk away from Black Adam and not be okay. So what was the difference?
The difference was you could tell that Deadpool's tone was, this is all a big joke. Mm-hmm. This is all not serious. This is super lampooned. This is not to be taken seriously. It's still dangerous to portray that at all. That's definitely not what I would have said 3 years ago. I'd be like, it's funny, but now I'm like, I question whether this stuff really truly is worth it. But There's that in Deadpool that it was super silly and portrayed as that. It's from the marketing to the beginning to it actually showing very clear that this is comedic and not to be taken seriously. Black Adam, it was a movie that I felt did take itself seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought it was very dangerous. Oh, like it was saying, yeah, Black Adam needed to be dark. He needed to be this, and no.
Like they literally have a kid following him around and is cheering Black Adam on when he's like electrocuting people into skeletons and things like that, and just like happy and trying to follow Black Adam's lead and creating anarchy. And it's like, yeah, it's not right that these people took over your land and is taking your resources and things like that. But it's making it seem like the only solution for problems like this is to not only murder, but to take things fully into your own hands and create a complete anarchy system.
Yeah.
And then support someone that is complete anarchist.
It's always hard because, like, you know, when you think about a film, it's like, okay, the protagonist, this is the character I'm on a journey with. And so I need to kind of figure out what kind of film it is, right? So like a film like Joker is a film that I still don't think it's the greatest idea having Joker as your protagonist of a film.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's a tragedy, and that's kind of the whole point of it, right? Is you're not supposed to be on the Joker's side by the end of the movie.
But you understand.
You're supposed to understand it, but you're not supposed to be there. So my question with Black Adam, because I haven't seen it, but like the reason why Venom is my least favorite comic book movie of all time is because you are taking an antagonist villain character and instead of it being a tragedy, it's a triumph. You are supposed to think that letting this darker evil force presence into your life dictate you and control you, that is a heroic good deed.
Yeah.
That is why Venom is absolute garbage, and I think it's the worst. It is the antithesis of what a superhero is meant to be. And I want to know if Black Adam takes that similar
You're
point of
supposed
view.
to be there with him.
Yeah.
But he's not even likable either.
He's not.
Not even The Rock, not even Dwayne Johnson can make him.
And you know, and now I understand what you mean by it's literally The Rock. Yeah, it's
They didn't edit anything. They didn't give him any pointy ears or hair or make him talk in an accent. It's just The Rock with no humor except dry humor, and he kills people.
Yeah, I won't lie. The first entrance when he came back and like he's going through like that military squad and just tearing through people. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of dope. I won't lie about this, but yeah, it's if he learned something, maybe the movie would be.
But there's no sense of like.
There's no sense of that he learned anything.
Yeah, he learned that he can do all this stuff for people instead of just for himself. He had hope, but he didn't change any ways. It's still he
focused his violence.
Crush everything. Yeah. He focused violence.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's more so I'm going to murder for the people instead of murdering because my son helped me or something like that.
So it's not personal revenge anymore. It's just general revenge.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I don't really care. I don't really care.
It's a little Batman-ish.
I don't care to see it. I'm really curious what DC's going to do with James Gunn now that he's going to be the one over DC now.
Ooh.
So they put him in charge, and he's going to craft a singular vision. So I'm very curious what he'll do with it.
It's pretty late.
You know? I know. That's
it's pretty late.
Yeah,
we're going back to phase one with the DC movies.
You're about 10 years in, to this DC
restarting
thing,
with phase one.
I don't know. But again, it's like if DC lets someone like Matt Reeves make things like the Batman, and we might be in good hands. So we'll see.
Yeah. I do want
It's all just going to depend.
Yeah, I do want to say within 2 minutes that the best part of Black Adam was Dr. Fate.
Yes.
Every scene, his
about
voice,
Is this
the actual actor.
Is that Pierce Brosnan who was playing him?
I don't know.
I don't know. Older guy.
Let me look.
He was great. His acting was good. I liked his character and his stance. The effects were super cool.
Yep.
His style was super cool. Ronnie and I were joking about the designer bathrobe he came out with.
No, high key though. He came out dripping. But I think with him, the only thing is that one of his main powers, and he does it in every scene, was that he just did multiples of himself.
Yeah.
He was just climbing on people. Like, that was in every fight scene that he was in.
So, if you watch Naruto, all he does is a shadow clone.
And that's why I don't watch Naruto.
Yeah, right. But no, the way they handled him was really cool, and he was the best character, and guess what? They killed him. So
Yeah, they sure did.
Yep.
Pierce
Brosnan, yeah. Okay, one of the James Bonds. All right, next one is X-Men.
Oh, he was one of the James Bonds. Oh.
So
X-Men.
We've talked about X-Men. By the way, do you have a favorite Spider-Man or X-Men film? Since we didn't get to hear your perspective on those.
X-Men, which I want to say like the Wolverine, any of the Wolverine films were so
Like Logan,
good.
the
Like,
Wolverine.
all that stuff was so good.
Yeah, I do.
Origins?
Yes, Origins.
No, he didn't
I
mean
love
Origins.
Origins.
He did
is
not mean Origins.
Yes,
The one
he
that I
does.
didn't like was the one where Deadpool showed up and it
See?
wasn't Deadpool.
Yeah,
It's
Origins.
See?
Origins.
Thank you.
We almost
Thank
got
you.
him.
Yeah, I do.
Almost got him.
I love Origins though. It's so dumb.
Dumb is
It's
a
so
good word. It's better than Venom.
How did you feel about Logan?
If I remember, that was where he was like going through
Old
like
man
war
Logan.
scenes and stuff. Like he was like a World
No,
War II.
that's Origins as well.
Oh, okay.
Logan is when he was old. When he was old and he was dying, and then he ended up dying at the end.
That was a lot for someone who may not have watched Logan.
You haven't seen Logan?
I don't remember at this point.
Oh, you would
job.
remember
Good
if
job.
you've seen.
I mean,
you would remember if you've seen Logan.
If he hasn't watched Logan yet,
No, people do this
He's
to me
had
all the
5
time.
years.
Let me take my time to watch a movie with the experience that you got to have. I got a busy schedule.
he may or may not have died.
Jason, give it. You need
Go
to get.
ahead.
You need to get together with him and watch Logan. If he
yeah.
hasn't
About
seen
it.
it.
Will,
That's
but-
5/16 appropriate, right?
No, but
You can make it 5/16 appropriate.
we can find Christ.
Bro,
in it.
our
Right.
5/16, we watched all the X-Men movies. Like,
Bet.
so
There you
like,
go.
So-
Heroes.
Yeah.
What about
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Do you have a favorite Spider-Man film?
I used to like the Tobey Maguire one initially, but that's because it was like the only one there. And then the next one?
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield was it was all right. I liked Tom Holland's stuff mostly. I thought he played the attitude of Spider-Man really well. Like the one I remember from all the animated series and stuff. I felt like he had like the jokey kind of playful attitude that went along with it, whereas Andrew Garfield didn't quite have it. He was just missing it.
Oh,
Just
see, I
missing
think
it.
the opposite. I think
Yeah.
Garfield had it, and Tom Holland
I think Andrew Garfield had
didn't
all
quite
of
have
it.
it. I think he has it. But I rewatched
Garfield.
No Way Home a couple weeks ago.
Does it still hold up?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It is like one of the most enjoyable movies. Like,
Really?
Like I'm so aware of the flaws. Like if somebody comes up to me and says, "Here's everything wrong with that movie," I say yes, and I don't care.
That's Batman v Superman for
that
me.
movie is so much fun and so like it's like on the enjoyment level. It's just it holds up for me. Like I've seen it 3 times now, and it's like
I still need to get on DVD.
Yeah, well, you can't beat some of the scenes like what is it? The Spider Sense scene with Green Goblin.
Oh,
yeah.
And
The
Jamie Foxx
last
making it super tense. And
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
just like,
the last half.
Oh, man.
I think I'm convinced that the last half of No Way Home, the second half of the movie, is the best live action Spider-Man movie.
ooh.
The first half is rough. There's a lot of it's a lot of writing issues mostly, story and writing. But the second half of the movie, I'm like, this is top.
Where do
tier
you say when the
Spider-Man.
second half starts?
When Doctor Strange gets locked in the
And when the Marvel stuff,
when the
actually
MCU gets
in.
locked away and it
Yeah.
becomes a purely Sony Spider-Man film,
Yeah.
it is the best of like oh my gosh. But anyways, we've gushed enough about Spider-Man. You could go check out all 2 parts of that.
Wow. Wow.
So Jurassic Park is next.
Oh man,
We didn't talk about Jurassic Park at all.
Dude, all the Jurassic Park movies, even the sloth.
What about
ones,
Dominion? Did you
even
see
the
Dominion?
dumb? Yes,
Even the dumb Dominion.
even the dumb ones. I love.
Dominion.
I love Dominion. I love Dominion.
I've only ever seen the first Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and that's it. I haven't seen any other.
The
Oh,
first,
really?
Lost World was solid.
yes,
Lost
first
World was so good.
First trilogy is solid.
Even Jurassic Park 3 with the
Even-
dinosaur that says Alan.
yes, because okay, and it's funny enough. I was thinking about this because I was rewatching that movie.
Wait, hold on. I don't even remember that part.
So when they're in the plane and Dr. Grant's having that dream and he wakes up and in the Velociraptor is like Alan, And then he wakes up, he's like, oh. So in the movie, he's trying to talk to a parrot, and he's trying to get the parrot to say its name. Mostly dinosaurs come from birds. So in that dream, it's like when you have dreams and you're like doing stuff in real life, but your dream alters it in a way. Yeah. He's going to go see some dinosaurs. Dinosaurs came from birds. He was trying to get the bird to say it. Listen, I tried to kind of make it connect. But that's how I took it from. Like, oh, he was trying to do that to the bird. The bird, blah, blah, blah. But,
so in the dream, the Velociraptor says his name or out of it?
No, in the dream.
Oh, that's fun.
In the dream, it's like, Alan. He's like, oh.
That's the only thing I know about Jurassic Park 3 is that scene.
Oh, Jurassic Park 3, if you've ever heard my ringtone, it's from that movie.
Yep. So, when the Spinosaurus is coming, man, the Spinosaurus.
So you know that part. There's a dude who gets eaten with an annoying ringtone.
I've seen a lot of clips from from those movies,
good.
But I've never watched the whole.
You should definitely go through the Jurassic Park series as much as you should go through James Bond. They're both equally really just solid for what they are. James Bond obviously has like that whole classic stream of like this is James freaking Bond.
So when I was on the Warner Brothers lot, they had a stand. There was just a random like patch of like a grassy area with some trees, right? Mm-hmm. They said, "All right, stand over here." Okay. And then they said, "Stand over here," and we walked 30 feet or something. Yeah. And they said, "Congratulations, you've just walked the entire chase of Jurassic Park."
Oh, really?
I love that.
So like the car chase scene.
They basically just changed the set and just
that's funny.
But you never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed.
Same thing when I was there, they also they did something similar where they were like, "All right, look down on the ground. Do you see anything?" We're like, "No." They're like, "You're on the yellow brick road." Cool. They said, "Now walk." We're at a sound stage. They said, "Okay, now walk over to this sound stage."
You're done.
All right, you've walked the entire yellow brick road.
That reminds me of SpongeBob when they get the powers, and SpongeBob is like, "You want to see me run to that mountain and back?
You want to see me do it again?"
Do it again, yeah.
So I am starting to get my kids into SpongeBob.
It
is so great going back and rewatching.
Yes, the old
those
SpongeBob.
First 2 seasons.
It is like wine.
Yes. Oh, it's
those
so
first
beautiful.
2 seasons and the first movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having so much. I probably have more fun than the kids rewatching.
They had David Hasselhoff in the first movie,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It went down after the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the Hoff. His chest came to shoot a crown into the water, bro. That's so funny.
Oh man. Next series is it's Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, Hobbit, all that stuff.
Never watched.
Wait.
Joe, we gotta do
Never
those,
watched.
bro. They're so good.
You've never seen the Lord of the Rings?
Never seen any of the rings.
Bro, they're so good.
I've just seen them,
They're
I
better
think,
than
last
Potter.
year.
I never watched
finished
Potter.
the third one, but I fell in love with the first one, the second one, and then I've only seen half of the third. I really want
How
to
have you not finished the third one?
It was at Nick's. I was about to miss curfew.
The third one.
Boo.
I want to watch it all the way with
The
someone.
third one is my favorite.
We were watching,
and it is particularly the second half.
We were watching it with Brandy and Josiah, but Josiah moved, and then things got busy, so we
Return
never
of the
got to
King,
finish
bro.
It. I
Shout
love
out to
it. And
Josiah,
I've
bro.
already
Such a
seen
good
the
ending.
end scene on the pit
the
of the volcano.
only fantasy movie to ever win Best Picture.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I agree. It's an awesomely shot movie. I love the scenes. Every scene, it's hard to admit, but every scene with like the evil and the monsters and the music, I love it. I go,
yeah.
Oh man,
Here they come.
The fact
You would
that-
love
the
it,
fact
Joe.
that you're the fact
I
that
bet I
you're
would.
watching the why am I blanking on what they are? Sauron's army. What are they?
The orcs.
Orcs.
The fact that
Orcai.
none of that is CGI.
Really?
Those are real people
practical?
all dressed up in
That's
that.
why I love old movies. Practical effects go so much.
Then
faster.
watch it.
Like,
Then watch
But
it.
you know what I mean. But the older,
when you've got
movie
Andy
before.
Serkis doing the motion capture
Yeah.
for Gollum, like that's the thing is like when there is CGI, it looks better than
Yeah.
the CGI nowadays.
Yeah.
But there's so little. Like the trees are motion capture as well. You know.
So what's motion capture?
Motion capture is where you have a real actor physically there, and they're acting and doing all that, but they
have the little
overlay.
dots?
Yeah, they have the dots and they overlay it. So Thanos is motion capture. So
Okay.
Josh Brolin is really there doing those scenes. A CGI is when when nobody is there.
And
Jar
they
Jar
just-
Binks, like That is like...
Well, no, because the guy was actually there with the hedge. I guess so. That would be motion capture. The guy was actually there. Yeah, and he was doing all the stunts and
I'm about
stuff
to say,
like
if
that.
that's
But it's just not good.
than
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
Yeah. But CGI is usually if there's not, but...
Like the dragons in the Hobbits movies.
Okay. There is some motion capture that I want to address in a series that's coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I think I do too. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Next one is Transformers.
Oh yeah, listen, I can get into Transformers. I'm actually going to watch the third one, Dark of the Moon.
Nice.
I'm going to watch a lot of movies this break, but I grew up watching like the G1 shows, and then like the G1 movie, and then the 2007 Transformers live action movie.
Yeah,
I would say out of the live action movies, it's 2000. It's the 2007 one, the first one, the third one for me, and the fourth one that I really do love. But
what did you think of the Bumblebee spinoff?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I heard a lot of
that
people
is my
really like that.
That actually felt like a really good Transformers.
I've seen some of the clips, and they're really good.
Yes.
The transformations,
Yes.
the voice acting, the models are way better because it's the same
G1
new
form,
school,
yep.
modern twist on how they transform and everything, but with G1 level styles. If you see
Shockwave and Starscream, you know who they are.
Soundwave,
yep.
I'm like, oh, these look so good.
That first 10 minutes of Bumblebees is the best Transformers movie of all of the movies.
Decepticons.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I can fanboy over it. I love Transformers.
Joseph, if you were gonna like tell somebody like me who hasn't watched a lot of Transformers,
yes,
I've seen a couple things. But if you were to say,
watch Transformers Prime, the TV show.
What do you think of the Transformers movie from the 80s, the animated one?
I do.
I know a lot of people love that movie.
That is the first. That's the first movie. Actually, no, the 2007 movie was the first Transformers movie I watched, and then I watched that one. I like the 80s movies much better because they killed off Optimus, and like it really,
bold move.
They killed off so many of the actual like G1 characters, and I'm like, oh, I was watching, I was like, yo, they killed off Wheeljack, they killed off Optimus, they killed off.
So like, Hasbro's the company that makes Transformers, right? And they make the.
They did it to make toys. They did it to sell new toys. Yeah,
that's the whole joke. Is that they exist to sell toys.
Yep.
Oh. And so Transformers and G.I. Joe were kind of the big franchises in the 80s that were created for that, right?
Yeah.
That Transformers movie traumatized so many children.
Yep. That they didn't.
With the G.I. Joe movie that they released a couple years, like a year later, it was in production. They had to completely rewrite it.
Because they were going to
kill off all the main G.I. Joes too.
Yeah.
And then if you watch that G.I. Joe movie, you see
when they're about to kill him off.
You see how the edits that are made, like, oh, he's gone into a coma now.
Yep.
I'm like, he's dead. He's dead right there.
He's dead on that table.
They literally just changed the voice, like.
Yeah, I remember reading articles like kids wouldn't come out their rooms because Optimus Prime died. Wow. It was kids.
Yeah, it was
a symbol
nuts.
of hope.
Yeah,
if
literally a symbol of hope.
Someone dies and you were like, I can't live anymore.
Yeah. Hot Rod's stupid self getting in front of Megatron. Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime was about to kill Megatron, and Hot Rod jumped in front of him. It was like, oh no, look I see you getting a gun, Megatron. And then Megatron took Hot Rod as a hostage and blew a hole into Optimus Prime. That's why people hated Hot Rod becoming the new Prime, because they're like, he killed Optimus. I'm not gonna support this guy.
That's like Star-Lord level behavior.
Yes, that's Star-Lord before Star-Lord, man.
Dang. All right, there's three more. I'm going to do, and then we're going to call it a night.
Oh, really?
3 more series. So, Jason, this next one's for you.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
Go ahead.
You want to talk
I did Transformers for Joe, and I'm doing Pirates for you.
That's right.
You want to talk about CGI, motion, whatever.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of CGI.
No. What was the motion thing? Motion capture?
Motion capture, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Davy Jones. Not even just visually, but what a character. He wasn't,
Yeah, right.
Price.
Yeah.
Every line he says, his voice, his mannerisms are super extreme. The way he jerks his head back and forth, the tentacles flaring up. The thing is, you look at him and the anatomy makes sense. There's order to it. When they have all these details and something's really good, but they put order in it, like the little valve of the octopus thing on the side of his face is kind of like his nose. The tentacle on his hand is like his index finger.
Yep.
The leg, the claw, everything just makes sense. Everything wraps up so well. And the thing is, they put emotion and sorrow behind him.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily one that you can say, okay, I understand this, but you go, oh, so there's a lot of pain behind this person. And you hear the bitterness. You see the logic of the business and how it plays out and how he completely abandoned his post.
Yeah.
And it was just really good. The whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing, I didn't get to finish it before the podcast. I was halfway through the third one. I haven't seen the fifth one.
World's End is one of my favorite pirate movies.
World's End?
That's the third one. Yeah.
What is your favorite one?
I would have to say Dead Man's Chest.
Same. Dead Man's Chest is really, really good. It's a tragedy.
Yes.
It's not it doesn't end upward. They kill off the main character.
They kill Jack, bro. That's
with the betrayal.
Yeah. From what is Elizabeth Swann? Like that was like
Will sees her kissing him.
Yeah. I was
and
like,
then so it does not end on any good note for anyone.
Yeah.
Except for the evil
Beckett.
white men.
Yeah.
for Beckett
The
and
British white
and Norrington.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a vengeance story and a redemption story in it that we don't want to root for, that kind of comes under the cover and like, okay, whatever, we throw it away.
Yeah.
And it comes up to sabotage the whole movie.
Yeah.
So we undercut Norrington, but he steals the heart. He goes to Beckett under the eye of everybody. Davy Jones is mad. He doesn't win. They lose the pearl.
Yeah.
Will certainly don't win.
Yeah.
Captain Jack certainly doesn't win. But at the end, you see the shift when he comes back. So he made a deal with the devil to raise the ship from the from the depths.
Yeah.
And at the end, you know what he says? It's just a ship, mate.
Yeah.
I was like, what, really, buddy? Because that's not how you've been treating this. But he shifts in a huge way. He's still kind of about to leave, and she clamps him down.
He was about to just dip and leave them to die from the Kraken. And let me just say, the Kraken is terrifying.
Man. Yes.
Like, the Kraken is absolutely terrifying.
I remember him in theaters.
Yes. Woo,
when the arms coming.
And then when he's just dropping, like, people in the water, I'm like, yo, that's a horrible way to die. Getting eaten by side tangent. Getting eaten by anything is the worst way to go.
Yes.
Does not matter what it is. Getting eaten by anything is absolutely the worst way to go.
Hence why Florida's a rough spot for me.
Anything out here can eat you, just like Australia.
Just don't go too close.
Guys,
to
Australia is no joke. If you gotta look up
Oh yeah.
I would
like a
never.
video
No.
I want to go.
of
I wanna
all
go.
the
I'm ready.
insane things that can kill you in Australia that are just everyday.
Kangaroos.
Kangaroos. Do not mess with a kangaroo.
Bro, they throw
wreck
hands.
yeah. They can support their whole body weight on their tail and just go boom.
Bro, yeah.
Well, and the
Hands.
animals, the thing that's scary in Australia is that the animals there seem like they just don't care and they'll pick a fight with you. Like, whether it's a bird or a koala. Like,
Imagine just walking and animals like, yeah, that's the guy I want to beat up today.
Squawk.
Yeah.
Squawk.
Yeah. That terrifies me.
Dingoes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and
They
I
ate
found
your
out,
baby,
All right, Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Bridge reference.
Think about pirates.
I found out that platypuses, did you know, are
Venomous.
venomous?
Yes, they're
Really?
behind legs,
Yes!
the males.
Those things could kill you.
It develops more in mating season, but the males have venom in their hind legs and their claws.
In their
They could take
paws.
you out, bro.
They lay
have
eggs as
claws.
well.
I know that, but they have claws.
They lay eggs. They have venomous claws. They are the most insane.
They're mammals somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like God made a platypus just to confuse all of the evolution.
He said, "Yeah, you
thing
want
for
to try to
people."
categorize this?
You want to talk about evolution?
Your
How do you
taxonomy and your biology,
How did this
good luck.
evolve?
Figure out where this goes."
Screw you.
Okay, Jason got something else on pirates, and then
So
we got
just
two
an
more.
Interesting thought that I've seen. I haven't seen the fifth one, but I know a bit of the concept. And Death is a main character in all of them. So there's the Curse of the Black Pearl, where it's literally the undying, the inability to feed the void caused by the curse.
Yeah.
By saying, they're hungry, they're starving to death but can't die. Nothing would satiate them. Greed, lust, wealth, hunger, nothing fills. But there's still an immortality. Then there's immortality in the second one and the third one. And Jack is like, maybe I do want to live forever. Because the main thing that he wants is freedom. He tells Elizabeth in the first movie, the ship isn't just rudder and sails. That's what it uses. It's freedom.
Yeah, right.
And what Jack wants more than anything is freedom. And it's cool that there's a compass that literally goes off of what he wants most. And the times when he's confused morally,
it just literally spins.
It's literally his moral compass does not know what to decide on. It's literally his moral compass.
And he needed somebody else to show him where to go. And like Elizabeth.
He's like, I'm going to piggyback off what you want the most because it's going to get me to what I think I want the most. And he's kind of writing off of someone else's desires, which was cool. But even in the fourth one, it's death again. It's the fountain of youth. But it's interesting how a lot of those times Jack has to give up his life and give up his immortality chance. He gets into the curse and buys in, but he throws it away to get his revenge against the man who mutinied him. In the second movie, he comes back and literally dies. In the third movie, he could stab the heart and become immortal and sail the seas forever and do what he loves.
Or he can give it to Will.
Gave it to Will to save his dying
Gave
friend.
him William Turner.
He saved the woman whose name I don't remember, the Blackbeard's daughter in the fourth one. He could have drank it, but he saved her instead. The fifth one, words blank. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the fifth one in a long time.
I want to because Javier Bardem's in it from No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah,
and he's good.
Oh, that's where they're kind of like the little ghosts.
They
guys.
look like they're underwater. The way the hair and other things flow. It looks cool.
It's not.
They do CGI.
It's not.
Well.
I honestly do not like what they did with the trilogy after, like the next couple movies after the main trilogy. I don't like it. I don't like them.
Four was okay. They definitely had moments that were very intense. I was like, oh, like the mermaids, horrifying.
Oh yeah, I won't lie. Yeah, the mermaids are just sick.
Yeah, I liked Blackbeard. He was cool.
Yeah,
no, you like Blackbeard because you want to get his beard like that. You just look at him. He grabbed his beard immediately. Yeah,
it's starting to get annoying. I don't know. It would be a commitment, but I really like the idea of death and escaping death being the main topic, being free from death.
That's good.
So yeah,
I got two more and we'll wrap up. Next one I had is the Hunger Games series. Have you guys seen any of those?
Yes, I've read the books and I've seen all the movies.
I shook my head. Sorry, everybody. I'm not in Divergent and Twilight and honestly, I wrap all those out. Maze Runner, I wrap all that up with Hunger Games.
Hunger Games is
separate them. It's better.
Hunger Games is legit. That was actually
I saw like
fan of that crap.
I saw like two of them, but
two of the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I think I know I saw the first one, and I may have seen the last a little bit of the last one.
Here's my opinion.
The second one.
All right, so the first, I was gonna say first one is good. The second one, oh my gosh,
so good.
That is how you make a sequel.
They had Kravitz though.
The way that you can't kill Lenny Kravitz, but that
they didn't have to do.
But now I read the books before I saw the movies.
Okay.
The second one is by far the best adaptation of the book, right? Like as an adaptation, it's good, but as a film, oh my gosh. It is just dripping with vision and character. Like, I am just like, because the first movie, a lot of people say like this is a battle royale ripoff. And I say, okay, whatever. Go watch the second one. Because that's when it becomes its own thing.
Not whatever.
And that's when you really see, and the first one has a lot of issues, but the second one,
they really did.
They bring it hard. Okay. And that ending, that ending
You're like,
sends goosebumps. Like, I get chills every time.
Let's do a spoiler warning because I don't mind getting spoiled about this movie. For those like Jason who want to like wait.
Do you really want to be spoiled?
Yeah, you can spoil me. I probably will not.
The second,
no, because that hurts.
So
because we'd want him to see it.
It's good. It's good. It's worth it. Don't.
I will not lie to you or the audience. I most likely will not watch this movie unless I am made to watch this movie.
If you just watch the second one, I don't care what you think, what you do with the others, because I do think Tori and I rewatched them recently. The dip of quality from Catching Fire to Mockingjay was shocking. Like those last two movies feel like TV movies.
Really?
Like they feel like the budget got slashed. The I felt like holy. And the third book is not as good as the first two books. No. So it does suffer from threequelitis, I call it, where the third is the worst. But stretching the third out to two movies makes it even worse. And I actually think the last movie is the worst one because I besides the fact that I don't think it's very well made, I think the story decisions defeat the whole purpose of what it's. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm still glad she got rid of the president.
I like that. That's the best.
She arrowed her,
yes,
right?
That's the best thing about that.
The
yes,
president's
I love that. I'm talking about when they killed Prim. That defeats the entire. That's what the whole point is saving. The whole everything she's doing is to save Prim.
Oh, Prim's the sister.
Yeah. So for Prim to get taken out, it's very
How does she
nihilistic and
she gets blown up.
She gets. They drop a bomb on. They drop a bomb on her, and I like the idea that it's President Coin pretending that it's president. Because I actually think the best thing about the Hunger Games for me is there's a lot of commentary of it that is perfect for the world we live in right now. About the Capitol, about how wars start. See, the reason why I like the third film, The Mockingjay Part 1, is because it's a movie about something you don't really see a lot of movies about. It's a movie about propaganda. And it's a movie about using how propaganda is the weapon of war and more than the guns and the weapon and like I've never really seen a lot of movies that tackle that subject.
Yeah,
but the way they seduce Katniss into thinking that she's on the right side and how they use propaganda to manipulate people in them. It's very well done, I think it's a good, the commentary in those movies, but in terms of just the overall package, like in terms of the characters, the performances, I mean, you got like in the second movie, you've got like Jeffrey Wright, who played like Gordon in the new Batman movie. You've got Philip Seymour Hoffman. You've got like a stacked cast. I mean, obviously you've got like Woody Harrelson and all those guys. It is a stacked cast, and everybody is bringing it in that film. It's the top of the franchise. So even if you just only see that one, I don't care if you see the others, but if you just see that one.
My favorite is after the one traumatic thing happens and then she gets to the arena and it's just like
the fact. I mean, I'll spoil this for Joe. Right before she goes to the games.
Spoiler warning for anyone that hasn't watched it like me.
Right before they go to it, they kill the only person in the Capitol who cares for her right in front of her eyes.
Dang. Like they bludgeon him.
Literally.
Is it Woody Harrelson?
No, it's it's Lenny Kravitz's character.
Oh, the crazy hair. Oh, okay. I do remember that.
So they kill him, and then she gets up to the arena and has to like go with that Trump like tacked on.
Because they show Katniss them killing that girl, and then they immediately send her up, right?
Well,
it's a guy.
So
Lenny Kravitz.
It's normally they shoot her up in the tube, but the tube doesn't go right away.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What's going on?" And then the door opens, and they start beating them. And they wait a minute.
That black guy that does her costume?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's super nice and cool.
That's a commentary in itself. Kill off the main black characters. Then we get into that.
Well, it's all about because Catching Fire is all about because I love the metaphor of spreading fire, because it's like the whole scene about like a spark is fine if it's contained, and so it's this idea of containing the spark. But ironically, what they're doing with everything they're doing, they think they're doing all these things to torture her. Because I mean, like the movie, like there's a character in the movie that legit gets flogged. Like they're constantly getting in her head. It's a movie about psychological torture and trying to break a human being in the hopes that this will break the human and the revolution, the fire will die down. But the irony is it's adding fuel to the fire. The more, and that's their blind spot, right? That's what they're missing.
And then the containment is broken at the end of the movie.
And then the arena, I don't want to spoil it for Joe, but what the arena ends up being.
The clock. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. There's just so much good stuff that in that movie. And of course the ending is just, it gives you chills. Every time I'm like, I knew the ending was coming from reading the book, but it didn't change the impact at all. I was just like, oh my gosh, you did not just do that.
Is this the second one or the last one?
The second one.
The second one, okay.
We should still see.
Okay. Listen, you guys got me for the second one.
All right.
But you guys have to make me watch it.
All right. The final one I want to do is, and I say this one for last because I just watched
Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, boy. Planet of the Apes, boy.
So I have
That's
seen.
all you guys haven't
So
seen
I
it.
have seen.
Really, Jason?
Wait, you haven't seen them?
You will
None of them.
Get out.
Really?
Bro.
I don't
don't
know
want
if
this
you should hear this, bro.
Okay, I'm fine.
Are you sure? You want to hear this?
I'll watch these with
I
you
think
guys.
I think you should. I think you should definitely still watch them. Come sit. Come sit.
I don't want to be spoiled, though.
Then get out.
Then
Let me know when you guys are
Wait, because
back.
Jacob, you've seen it.
I've seen a handful of them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk for a bit, and if we get into spoilers, I'll let you know.
Cool.
All right.
I do have to pee and I'm thirsty, so that works out for me.
So
rough business, guys.
the only scene Planet of the Apes that I had seen is the original, and I love the original.
Okay.
It is a top tier filmmaking, like the concept.
Yeah.
Which was created by the guy who made the Twilight Zone, Rod Serling,
Yep.
right?
You
So
can
basically-
even feel that.
Oh, yeah.
You feel
It
that.
feels,
Really?
it feels like
Ooh,
the
I love
original
Twilight
Planet of the
Zone.
Apes.
Yeah.
The original Planet of the Apes feels like a movie length Twilight Zone
Yes.
episode.
That sounds like I should probably watch that.
Yeah.
And
it's actually
and,
pretty dope. Yeah.
It's got great makeups, the sets, all that stuff. But the best thing about the original Planet of the Apes is the commentary on humanity.
Yeah.
Because that's what the whole Planet of the Apes. It's a movie about humanity.
Yep.
And what it means to be human and how to forfeit your humanity.
I
right?
love that each trilogy as it goes along talks about that with each generation of when the movies take place.
Yes.
In a sense, because
Yes.
like it still
They're
talks about
fitting for their generation.
Yes, because it still talks about humanity, but it talks about the fall, the failure of humanity, humanity in those certain generations.
Right. So I recently rewatched the 3 new ones. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes,
Yep.
Dawn of Planet of the Apes,
And then War.
So
Yeah.
the Dawn and War are made by Matt Reeves, the same guy who made the Batman.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Same director,
Yeah, the Batman.
I think same cinematographer.
Yeah, I
same,
think so. Yeah.
Score. Michael Giacchino did the scores, right?
I trust
So
him.
it's a lot of yes. And so
You
I
should.
was the first. I'm really trying not to spoil these. The first Rise I thought was good.
Yes.
Like I'm like, this is a good first movie to start your trilogy.
Yes.
It's solid. The concept and the themes are there.
What's Harry Osborn?
James Franco.
James
yeah.
Franco is the main
the-
character. in it.
So-
yeah,
so
Harry.
It's interesting, Jason. It's interesting because each of the movies in the trilogy has a different cast of humans.
Yes.
Oh.
So the apes are the same,
But the cat- yeah.
but it's the humans that change each movie.
That's kind of cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, so the first one, and James Franco's the main human. The second one, Dawn, I instantly from the opening, which was traumatic
Yeah.
in light of COVID.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
opening of Dawn feels like that
We
movie was
literally
made in
lived through it.
2014, and I'm like, dear God, they predicted COVID.
So-
like everything,
It's-
everything. People wearing face masks, quarantine. Like,
So the way-
No wonder why everyone was bugging out. It's because everyone saw
Dawn and
Yeah,
Planet of the
the
Apes.
way-
that
the-
opening scene.
The way
happening?
it spread, like the disease is spread that got rid of, or that was the process of getting rid of humanity.
Because that
was-
shouldn't be a spoiler that obviously humanity is in trouble.
Yeah.
Hence why there's a Planet of the Apes.
It was a virus, and the way it showed it spreading was like
it's
just,
COVID.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just like COVID.
literally. It's like, bro.
I know. Like instantly
Like-
when that scene starts, I'm like, oh, we're in a different type of movie than Rise.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in a very different place.
Yeah.
And the main human actor in Dawn is Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's the main, and he's a great, great character, very layered, for the little.
And then the old Gordon from the
in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Knight.
Yeah,
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 I liked him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Yeah, that's Gary Oldman.
Oh, guts.
But
What was the one that had? I think it was Mark Wahlberg. right?
No.
That is the old. That was the
That's
older
the
one.
Tim Burton remake of the original. I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's
Dang.
terrible.
Hot take.
Don't count it.
Because of Marky Mark?
It doesn't
Aw,
exist.
man.
Mark, you.
Marky Mark?
But okay, so Dawn was even better for me than Rise.
I love Dawn is my favorite of all the. Of
and
all
I
the
think
Planet
it's
Apes.
the ideas of Dawn.
Yes.
Like Koba.
Yes,
Like,
bro. Koba.
Oh
is-
my gosh.
Never
Koba.
have I ever been like, bro, like this whole ape can tear down everything. Like,
The scene where I'm not going to spoil it for Jason, but the scene with Koba and the two humans.
yes.
That
yes,
scene changes everything in that movie. I'm like, oh my gosh.
then
they
even-
did not just do well because Dawn feels like, again, obviously it's apes, but it
feels so human. Yes, it feels so human.
Well, so I'm going to make a bold statement with these apes movies.
Okay.
Okay, I have
The-
Nick's list of what he liked best about that one.
Perfect.
Oh, really?
Okay. So with the apes, I'm going to make a bold statement here. This might be the best CGI I've ever seen.
Hands down. No.
Of Dawn?
Oh no, in all three of the movies.
Yes.
Oh.
Because so all the apes are real people motion captured.
Like Andy Serkis is
Andy
the main-
Serkis. So Andy Serkis
Oh,
plays the
Andy
main.
Serkis,
Yeah.
You just
So-
have to say his name
And I think this is. I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
This is Andy Serkis's best performance in anything.
Whoa, that's not
me
a
think.
light statement. That is not a light
I
statement.
mean-
I would have to say it's in the. I would have to say it's in the top. I can't
Maybe
think of
tied with Gollum in Return of the King, but this is his best.
Wow.
It's he does a phenomenal
Because think
performance
about
on
it, like he has to act as an ape that's also becoming
A
human.
yeah.
Do you know how hard that must be to
Yeah.
do
Really hard.
with
Yeah.
all the motion capture and everything? But so Andy Serkis, like Caesar, that's his character's name.
Okay.
And then it shows the emotion of the apes too. Like the CGI just enhances how you like these apes.
It
are
is the most realistic looking CGI I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like
He starts becoming human.
no, not literally,
not literally.
but it's
transforming,
the
like
apes as they
mindset,
evolve and they
emotion-
become
yeah.
conscious
He
and
develops
whatnot.
sentience.
Yeah.
the idea of being humanity.
Is this the one where the dude he ends up taking the monkey home with him?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
in Rise.
yes,
that's
in
Rise.
Rise.
That's
That's in
Rise. Yep. That's
Yes.
Rise.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was very good.
So okay, so then I saw Dawn.
Yeah.
And that was like another level up.
Yeah, because literally Koba
Yes.
goes
Koba-
through this journey where he's like he wants to protect, but because he wants to protect his tribe, but because he has so much hate and anger towards the humans.
So I'm sorry, Jason. I am gonna mention this one thing, and it's
Charlie.
that no, I mean it's just an overall
No, you have to
thing
listen.
for the trilogy. It's an Exodus parable. It's an Exodus allegory.
Now I want to see it.
Because it's it's a multi-layered Exodus
Yeah.
parable, but I mean think about it. It's all about captives becoming free
Yeah.
and then developing morality.
Is Koba the Moses character?
No,
No.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you.
no.
Definitely not. though.
Definitely
I'll
no,
tell you
though.
definitely not.
Yeah.
But Dawn, I like how
definitely
Dawn.
not.
I like how Dawn is all about the apes.
He's more the film.
coming up with creating a moral code.
Yeah.
and it's very much like they're in the wilderness,
Yeah.
right? And
Ape no
And-
kill ape.
ape no kill ape. Yeah, they have to come up with them. But I gotta say, Joe, when I saw War,
I didn't like War as much. I
See,
think it's my least.
War is my favorite.
Really?
War is top tier film.
Okay.
Like it's the best. It's the best out of them all.
It's the best.
And so
Oh.
so for me with War, instantly, like I think the cinematography was better, the music was better. Like in terms of filmmaking as an experience, I thought it was the best, like on a technical level,
Yeah.
right? CGI was at its best, everything was at its best. But then I was like, okay, this movie, like it starts off with that opening scene, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a war movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna like this as much.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be very action heavy. And then they showed the POV shot of Caesar walking through the corpses.
Yeah.
And I said, this is not a war movie physically. This is going to be a war for his soul.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about
Yeah.
it. Is it's a movie of will Caesar, will he cave in?
Yeah. And
Will he forsake his morality? Will he it's a movie fighting for the soul of Caesar.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's interesting to me.
That's good.
It's
Now
a
looking at it like
it's a
that, I'm
deep
not to
character
rewatch it.
study. And the Colonel, Woody Harrelson's
Yes,
character,
again, Woody
is
Harrelson.
the best human of any of those movies.
I would say that. Yes, he is. Out of the main human cast, he is.
The
Woody Harrelson.
scene,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but if it's Woody Harrelson,
it's
Bro,
Woody
it was
Harrelson.
good. It's good.
And so like, well, and the idea that Woody Harrelson is a reflection of Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
How they are one and the same coin.
Yeah.
How they are both leaders that are revered by their people.
Yeah.
Trying everything they can to keep their race alive. But whereas the Colonel is willing to do everything, Caesar is not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his weakness, but it's also his strength at the same time.
There's a
And
scene in the movie with
You know which one I'm talking about?
It's a raid, but man, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay.
It's a raid.
Yeah.
That's a raid.
And then the
Shout out to
scene,
Dre.
And then the scene where they take Caesar to the Colonel.
Yes.
In his tent. That is the best scene in all three of those movies.
Yeah.
The scene where the last of humanity and these eight, like, it's no spoiler. Humanity is
They're at the it's the telling of the series. Of course, the humans are. It's war. It's war. The planet of the apes, bro. Come on.
But that conversation where the Colonel, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to give it away for Jason, but where the Colonel talks about what he had to do to keep humanity alive.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is one of the best antagonists I've seen in a film in a long time. I completely, like, kind of like a Thanos. It's wrong,
But you get it.
but I know why you had to do that.
Yeah.
Is it like Zod-like or no?
No.
Okay.
It really is its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. But, and the fact that...
I do love me some Zod, though.
The
I
fact
won't lie.
that-
Yeah.
the fact that the whole dilemma is like mercy. If we show mercy, we will go extinct. That concept is so interesting because that's what both sides are dealing with.
Yeah.
Is they have this moral code, but they have, if they want to survive, are they going to forsake the moral code?
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, watch War with like that Exodus mindset
Yeah.
in there. Because even like what happens with the mountain thing.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And even the last scene in the movie is very...
Yes, yeah, that's very true.
Yep. So it's... Yeah, War for me, like, I felt a lot
You felt
watching
War.
that movie. Like, that I felt more than in the other... Even though I think Dawn has the best ideas, probably, that it wrestles with.
Yeah.
But War as a character study and realizing that it's not about a physical war, it's about a war of morality and your soul. That was, you know, like, and I had no idea, like, was Caesar, what's going to happen?
Yeah, honestly.
Where is this going?
I think that trilogy is the best trilogy ever.
It's one of the best. I agree. It's one of the best film trilogies I've ever seen.
Like,
right up there with the Star Wars trilogy and a couple others. It's
I may have to put it over the Star Wars trilogy.
yeah.
Like
I understand.
any of
it. It has its flaws.
Jason, it's that good.
Really, I might have to
It's
see it then.
it's that good.
It's
bro.
that good.
I do want to represent Nick since he's not here.
Yeah,
What
what
did
did
Nick
Nick say?
say?
So
Yeah,
his
with
three
Dawn.
favorite things. So he texted in the chat, just watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and that is a movie.
Yeah, it
And I
really is.
asked him what's the three best things about the movie, and you can tell me if this is pretty accurate or not. But
Okay.
he said Caesar, Koba, machine guns.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Literally summarizing
That
it.
summarizes the
Bro.
Yeah. Did he say anything about War at all though?
No.
Okay, because he said in the text chat that War was his favorite.
Oh, I didn't. I
I
know
kind of
that.
wanted to know why if he saw what I saw with it. But yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I'm glad I saw those.
Yeah.
Those are really, really great films. The things they wrestle with about humanity and what it means to be human, and the performances, and of course, I'm going to say one more thing: you are Nova.
Nova.
Think about it.
I am Nova.
You are Nova. No, the statement "you are Nova." Maurice.
I had to because that's
From War.
I would have
the
to-
girl.
I remember the
Am
girl,
I-
but I would have to.
Am I human or am I ape?
Oh, Oh, yeah.
That was like the most moving moment, I think, of the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Because there is so much packed into those 3
Dang,
words.
I gotta rewatch War because I remember not liking anything that had to do with the girl and that side character.
Well, so can I tell you something about the girl?
Uh-huh.
So the girl Nova, that's the girl in the original Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh.
The one that Charlton Heston's character rescues.
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh.
And you know Cornelius.
Cornelius is like his son,
right?
Yeah.
Cornelius is the ape who tries to save Charlton Heston in the original movie.
Oh, wow.
That's his son.
Oh, this is just a hitter,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
right?
Okay, this is
it comes full circle to the original movie.
Yeah.
It's Cornelius
it's like poetry, it rhymes.
and I forget the girl's name in the original Planet of the Apes, but it is like poetry. But yeah, so those characters are for the original, you know?
Okay.
Cornelius and Nova.
Yeah.
So that adds a lot of weight when I watch War too.
Okay.
Especially when you know where it all goes.
Let me ask you this: Would you want them to remake those original Planet of the Apes movies?
No.
Or
they already tried. It was terrible. The Tim Burton movie. It was awful.
Fair. Or do you want anything that has to do with these Planet of the Apes movies? Would you want to see?
Well, they are coming out with a 4th one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I know. So that's where I was leading. That's where I was leading to.
I'm fine with it if they have someone like Matt Reeves do it. Who really cares about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think from what I understand with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, they want to show how does the society develop.
Yeah.
I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Because basically, one of the interesting things about the original Planet of the Apes movie is religion. Is that they have built a religion that mimics humanity's religions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to kind of see like
that
how
happen.
do they develop politics and religion and all that stuff? Because you've seen in this trilogy, like they figured out morality and they figured out like, you know, how like the basics, the foundations of society and civilization. Yeah. But then how does that go? Because I like even the idea of kingdom, right? Mm-hmm. Because that implies politics, religion, all the different things, the institutions of society, science, right? How does all that develop with the scraps of the human race? Yeah. I actually want to see that movie. Okay. As long as it's made by someone like Matt Reeves, who genuinely cares. Because I felt the love that Matt Reeves has for this series.
For these apes.
I feel it when I watch it. I need someone with that level of love and care. So, but we're gonna probably wrap it up here, guys. So it's been a couple hours. It's been a bit.
Oh, it's been a couple hours. Oh guts.
Yeah.
Oh guts.
So we're gonna wrap it up here. So I don't even know what to call this episode. Like why we love this, why we love film. I have no idea.
Why we love what we love.
Why we love what we love. Ooh, that's good. I might actually go with that.
Yeah. I
like that.
There's some things I need to talk about.
But
what did you get to talk about? Spitball it all right now. 2 minutes. Actually, 1 minute.
Megamind, Kung Fu Panda 2, you gotta see it before you die. Or else
Kung Fu
I'll
Panda
make sure
2 better than Kung Fu Panda 1?
It is. It is.
Did anyone peep what he just said right now?
So Kung Fu Panda 1, great. Kung Fu Panda 2, even better. It explores grief, the
I think I do remember liking the second one more.
The shell that people put around, discovering trauma and overcoming it.
I've still never seen Megamind though.
Oh, God, Derrick, you need to sit down.
I know. A lot of people tell me I would like it.
Megamind. I came in fully expecting to hate and wanting to hate Megamind.
Right?
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I came out just nothing but praise for this movie. Super original, super funny. Loved it.
Cool. I'm gonna check it out for sure.
Definitely check out Megamind. Sure. That is one of my top favorite animated movies.
Or else.
So I want to.
You heard what Jason said. He'll do it if you don't watch it.
Man, we've got so much stuff we got to see. I don't know if you guys have time after this. We got no work tomorrow, right? Nobody got work tomorrow.
No, but we have curfew.
Yeah. Oh, they got.
I'm house leader. Let's see what I can.
They got curfew. Listen, but he didn't drive here. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
You're holding him hostage.
Listen, I'm
holding him hostage.
Y'all was gonna say he's holding me hostage.
So
actually, I can have him walk.
Yeah, it's a short walk. All right, or take the bus. All right, so here's where I'll end it on. So this is our final episode for 2022. For this year, figuring out the podcast and just kind of how the best kind of way of doing these episodes, seeing what people really like and gravitate towards. I've got a fairly good idea now. So what I'm going to do next year, a little preview for 2023. So instead of having a super like regimented schedule of like first Tuesday of the month is going to be this type of, second Tuesday, third is this, I'm just going to kind of do whatever as it comes, right? I've got a lot of ideas and a lot of guests and a lot of different things to discuss. I think we've done a lot of these overviews to where the only type of overview I think that we could kind of tackle that's kind of left is like, I don't know, like tackling like a specific
like genre
type, like type of film, like why do we like
Westerns?
I don't know, Westerns, or why do we like superhero films or sci-fi, right?
Spoof films.
Spoof
Because
films,
because when I do my workshops and I actually talk about genres, because I ask people to describe their life story through a genre, and a lot of people look at the list of genres and they're like, I can't do this. And I said, like, I don't see how these connect with me. And I said, would it help if I go through and explain what the genres actually mean? And then when I actually, because this is actually one of the big light bulb moments when I talk to people, is they're like, whoa, I never knew. Like when I say like, well, a Western is just a story about one man going up against the odds of society.
World,
And they're like, oh, that's a story I know. I said, yeah. Horror movies is basically confronting your fears.
And getting murdered.
Kung fu movies.
Confronting both the internal and external monsters and demons of life, right? People are like, oh, that's what a horror, And I go through all the main genres of film and I explain that that's what they are. And then they're like, oh, that's cool. So maybe tackling those
I like that.
in detail could be fun. What I would really love to do more of as well is doing specific, like, kind of like what we did with like Planet of the Apes and different things, where we tackle more like a trilogy, or we tackle a smaller, like an individual film or a couple films. It doesn't have to be tied to anything.
What about even a character?
So or like, we all saw the Truman Show recently. So like talking about something like that and diving in. So doing a lot more of these like fun analyses of different things and just having people on to talk about different things of how these stories connect with our lives. So that's probably what you're going to see a lot of moving forward in the new year. And just kind of just whatever ideas come to mind, with just different people. And I have some different guests who I'm kind of asking like, what do you want to talk about? So, so expect, next year when the All Things Narrative podcast, lots of great new episodes are going to be coming out. It's going to be fun. Definitely want to keep having, great people like you guys. Keep having you guys, because it's fun to just come over and hang out and talk about these things, because we do this anyways.
Yeah,
true.
Might as well record it,
Becky.
So any final thoughts for the new year? Anything you guys want to sign off with before we wrap?
Okay.
Joe's got something.
So I got two things actually. So speaking of episodes.
Yes, here we go.
I plan on releasing my new episodes for my stop motions on my YouTube, Joe Lee Stark 25. Hopefully at the beginning of December. So hopefully you'll be seeing Our Saviors episode. I think we're at 6 now. Civil War.
Yeah. By the time this episode drops, it should be out.
Yes. And then also, not a plug, but an announcement.
Do it.
Your boy's engaged. Yeah. That's right. So it's,
God help her.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he knows. And she knows. So great things to happen in the beginning of next month, and amazing things happening next year.
It's gonna be a good year for you.
Yeah,
good year.
Hashtag it. Anything you want to say?
It's not the year. It's not going to be like the year in Days of Future Past. That future.
Oh man,
because that is 2023, bro.
Oh yeah, when everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
Well, we don't know, man. Listen.
I know, right? The way the world's going.
Yeah, man.
Sentinel program protocol announced.
Muties.
Jason, Jacob, any final thoughts?
Absolutely, but do you want to go?
You can go.
Yes. Okay. This was cool. I appreciate you guys putting me on. This was pretty dope. I didn't expect to have that much to actually talk about or add to the conversation.
That's what everybody says, right? Dave's over here like, oh, I'm not going to say much. Well.
I honestly wasn't sure, but then the guys kind of brought up some things that I apparently had some sort of feelings about. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm on. So like, that was cool. I appreciate that.
it.
Thanks for the invite and everything.
Yeah,
like,
you're welcome.
This was clearly very random. Like I just showed up and then here I am. So I was like, all right, cool. Shameless plug though. I'm also a hip hop artist. My name.
Yo, cool.
Do the plugs. Do the plugs. Go ahead.
It's not Jake. NOT space JAKE or NAUGHT JAKE. Depends on where you look. It was a problem with trying to get the thing. Just don't worry about it. Just listen to it. But yeah, have at it. Go for it.
Awesome.
Enjoy it. Appreciate it.
I have no plugs, and
I have a plug for Jason.
So don't follow me. What? You have no plug.
Find Jason on social media
At his
and
work.
ask him for a recipe of some sort. 'Cause Jason makes lots of good stuff.
Dude made some crazy good stuff the other day. Just want to like gloat about your
What
cooking
was
for
it?
a second. That it was like that. What kind of noodle was that? It had like
Oh yeah, Jason and Italian food
The
is
gnocchi
I think so. Oh, that stuff was
with the
crazy
mushroom
good.
cream sauce. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at him. Look how he's talking. Yeah. Oh, I don't have plugs.
that whole
I don't have plugs.
I don't have a plug. I have a private Instagram account that I delete on occasion or uninstall the app. I have not. Don't follow me.
Don't do what I just told you.
Follow him, please, and message him all the time, please. He would love that.
Yeah, no.
Make
I
him
mean,
feel super
I feel bad.
unreasonably
I don't want to. I have nothing but. I don't know. If you ever want to plug my thing, you can. If people want recipes, I really just find stuff online and then I make it halfway or to the point where I understand it, and then I go, I'm going to change it this way, or I add in, okay, you know what? I will leave you guys with my secret ingredient, chemical X. Just know that if you ever eat some of my cooking, there's a chance that I will sneak cinnamon into it and not tell you about it, just for the fun of saying that I put cinnamon in your food.
It is good though. Whatever you do, it works.
Yeah.
So, like keep at it.
So,
Yeah.
yep. I just want to say though, I really enjoy finding just the love, the stories, and what they mean and how they affect us in these podcasts, and really exploring why I love things and why other people love them. There's so many things that I would never even think of that people think of, and it just blows me away every time. Like, oh, I never. So that's the way you think, huh? That's interesting. I never would have thought of that or put a value on that. So I really like how everybody's individual humanity and personality is reflected in the stories that they love, and getting to hear that every time we go on the podcast.
Yeah, and thank you, Derrick, for bringing us on to this. I know
Thank you
that,
for driving out to Loxahatchee.
Listen, when you started this is your baby, and we appreciate being on this journey, this year journey now with you.
Yeah.
So
it means a lot having you guys. Just getting to talk with you guys. Just about these things because we're all passionate.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's passionate about story, to be honest, even if you don't know it.
Yeah.
We all have one.
But you guys are exactly. But you guys are really passionate. We can have these 2-hour conversations about all kinds of things. So thank you guys for being on. I appreciate the love. I'm happy to do it. This is the part of the business that doesn't make money. So if you do want to help support my well-being, visit allthingsnarrative.com. Get a free consultation, and I would love to work with you on any level between coaching programs, workshops, classes, and the like. Stuff for adults and youth. So thank you so much for everything, and we will be back in the new year. And until then, how are we going to end it?
dang, put it on the spot. Remember, mutant and proud to the uprising.
Death to all muties.
Going out on the next one.
Wish list by Not Jake.
Bet.
All right, everybody, remember to like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your evening.